Hello and welcome back to another history of Overwatch. We're moving onwards through the 2020 season as fast as we can because it was a trip. It was a trip. So we're going to look at the May Melee APAC match between the Seoul Dynasty and the Shanghai Dragons. Some context of how we got here. At this point, COVID's hit, okay? I know it feels like 20 years ago that it started, but really it was only about 2 years ago. And we're in full effect of COVID. Everyone's inside. Everything's being played online now. And the season's really just trying to we're using duct tape to stick everything together to just make it work. This is the first small tournament, stage-like tournament that we did in the season because there wasn't expected to be tournaments. There was just going to be regular season matches, but because there was going to be homestands, it was going to be fine. So when we went on to online play, there weren't tournaments and it was just so boring. No one really had anything to play for. Weeks started blending together. I was stuck in my room like everyone else, just bored shitless. So fortunately, the great people at Overwatch League decided to bring in the May Melee, which is the first of tournaments, and obviously we did those again in 2021. So this was the first tournament format that we did, and pretty much everyone qualified, except for apparently the Vancouver Titans, who lost in the 12th seed match before it even really began. So let's sort of talk about where the other teams are at, who's good, who's bad, where we're at. Vancouver Titans are in hot last with their very poor 2020 Vancouver Titans team. This is at the point where the Vancouver Titans management and team had that massive split post-COVID. At the beginning of COVID, and they're just fielding 6 players that they could get together. It was like a really interesting team, right? Like, where is it? Dalton, Sooner, Shockwave, KSA, Shredlock, Kaka, Rolf. Team wasn't very good. Like, they were fine. They had good contenders players, but the only real big player that came out of this was Shockwave. Shockwave really, impressed a lot of people, but everyone else was kind of meh. Like, KSA was pretty hyped up, but yeah. They beat Dallas. Yeah, well, a lot of people beat Dallas that season as well. Because this is also like the last of dumpster fire Dallas Fuel. Before they set everything on fire and just dropped everyone, this is look at this. AKM Zachary Decay Doha, Trill Note Gamsu, Harry Hook Unco Closer Crimzo. We'll probably talk about the whole Decay Dallas Fuel situation in a future video when we watch the playoffs and we talk about his trade. But yeah, this roster was something different. It was dumpster fire. Dallas kind of sucked at this point. Still, Houston Outlaws also having their struggles of 2020. Hydration main tank is in full effect. Well, obviously, we just watched the Houston Outlaws in the toilet bowl. Let's look at everyone else. Valiant had a pretty good season after having a completely rebuilt roster. They're starting to look pretty good. Probably like top 4 NA, top 6 NA, which is impressive for how budget they seem to have went. San Francisco Shock still having their success and flowing on. Florida Mayhem have had a massive rebuild in 2020, and they actually have a really good team. This is the rise of the Yaki, BQB, Fate is the main tank at this point, Gargoyle. They got a pretty solid team. They're not the best, but it's kind of like the rise of Yaki a little bit. Philadelphia Fusion obviously having a good 2020 season. Yeah, everyone else is not really worth talking about. Let's talk about Asia. Guangzhou Charge are having a great season for the first time in a while on the back of Krong's great Sigma play. Hangzhou Spark are shitting the bed once again, even though they theoretically should be good. Chengdu Hunters are still being a little wacky, if I remember correctly. London Spitfires having massive woes with their completely retooled roster. This is back when London bought every cheap prospect out of Korean contenders. Look at these players. And it's funny looking at it now because some are around, some aren't. We got Although, who's now on the Toronto Defiant. We have J-Mac, who is now a coach for Paris Eternal. Glister has joined him on the Paris Eternal. Krillin is now on the Washington Justice. And I think that's it. And Banar is on the Hangzhou Spark. And that's it. Everyone else has sort of disappeared from the London Spitfire roster. Chengdu has leave, but they're still sort of struggling with the having a solid roster. Shanghai Dragons is beginning their dominance in the 2020 season. And that's how we ended up getting here. Seoul is actually having a great tournament. I'm pretty sure this is peak Marvel Sigma, right? I'm pretty sure this is peak Marvel Sigma at this point. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's where we're at. So it's like Marvel Michelle is being played. I'm pretty sure at this point. Jester is not being played. We got the Fits and Profit show. We'll watch it. It's a banger of a match. So that is where we're at. We're in the peak of hero pools. I don't know if hero pools are available for the main melee. I'm sure it'll tell us when we get to the broadcast of who is banned and who is not. Yeah, let's keep it going. If you are like me and you see this screen for the first time, you get a little PTSD about what 2020 was like again, and it all comes flooding back of these shitty backgrounds, Bren and Josh being in different rooms, different lighting, shitty green screens, all that kind of stuff. Welcome to 2020.
Right, okay, we've got a bit more news for you. It turns out Fitz has decided to run to the restroom, and that...
Classic 2020. People just dipping left and right.
Pause. There's probably underlying...
Started. Oh, there.
All right, let's get it started. Reminder, this is also happening in like the middle of the night. So this is like 2 a.m. for Bren and Josh.
7, we could go
yeah, it's like 3 a.m. for these guys. So remember that.
In that series, just mostly playing the Mei and the Tracer.
What is the meta here? I don't really remember. It kind of looks like we're still playing... Somehow, we've ended up... Did they show hero pools here? Do we have hero pools? We'll see if they remind us. I don't think no hero pools, right? But I'm pretty sure it's... No hero pools in the tournament, yeah. I think maybe no hero pools. So it looks like we're kind of getting the grand final meta of 2019. The Lucio double shield rush. Obviously, we're only on night market of Lijiang, so we'll see where we end up. Soul's gonna play the... Oh, sorry, this is the classic. This gets played to this day. The Sim Mei.
When the fights really kick off, as you can see, Soul setting up some early positioning onto the point. Setting down those turrets, the ice wall used to mitigate
Luffy, yeah, Luffy in as the flex support. So, like, this is like when Shanghai Dragons had a really good season. Stam 1 got traded in to play like the Orisa instead of Fearless in certain times. But before Fader joined the team and before Izayaki was on this team. So, still very much up in the air. Wait, I think Izayaki was on the Dragons at this point, right? Yeah, he's just not playing. So he's just not playing at this point. Which, maybe they thought Luffy was a better bat. We'll see, we'll see. As you can tell, I don't really remember this match. I do remember rewatching this match. Obviously, it was a banger, but it's been... I've honestly blacked a lot of 2020 out. So we'll see where we go. Wow. This is really the season as well that needs to be reinstated when Fleta was like the best Echo in the game. His Echo was actually nasty.
Might open things up a little bit for his team. With Marvel and Profit both going down,
he got traded season 2 after the 0-7 Valiant.
But they will have this teleport
to Shanghai
to usher in their other main tank for this Orisa Reinhardt comp, and it's all about getting those
obviously I was there,
from
so
Profit and those great speed boosts from
should
Toby.
remember.
If they can keep that going, they've got a chance here against Shanghai.
Great pick up onto Profit.
I don't know why Soul felt the need to go so aggressive there. That didn't feel necessary.
Does a lot to keep his
team Echo was broken as
damage
fuck.
From Shanghai is far, far too immense.
When was the nerf of this meta? That was 2021, right? 2020, early 2021 Echo meta? When we got like 19 divas just throwing bombs at each other?
Into their favor. Only 38%, but
hot take from 7. This best of 7 is the best Overwatch series in the history of Overwatch. Damn. Okay.
He comes out off
There's a lot of things for that. So let's see what we do.
Dying. You cannot make that work. No Lucio from the Shanghai Dragons.
Nice boop,
wasn't able to get a 6-man boop there, but Fleta's gonna go for the pin.
Big slam.
He goes from the pin from on high, but gets booped straight back again. We see a lot being laid down here. It was
really disrespecting that take. Like my personal favorite is the Paris versus Philly one, but like that's a good take. I think this was up there with one of the best matches.
Just as quickly.
It was a very high match.
Winning a pretty good team fight there. Had to utilize a lot of ultimates though to do so.
The Symmetra is normally only used.
Because remember, this is Seoul playing for their first ever championship, and no, Shanghai had won things right at this point. Yeah, Shanghai won stage 3 of 2019, of course. This is Seoul playing for success. They've never won anything. They've been good for so long
but it doesn't really work for the Seoul Dynasty, and now they've
never won anything.
It's a bit more versatile. It allows them to get back into it, but it's
still yet to win anything. Just saying.
Into the control point than it is to defend it. And Shanghai Dragons are already up to 60% right now.
Josh might be a little bit too loud for my liking.
It's a lot of damage. Shanghai have got to be.
Alright, so we got Seoul switching to the Reaper main. Obviously not able to play the Simmons effectively.
A lot of ults being used.
Lee Jae-gun also goes to the Brig. Why does Lee Jae-gun play Brig here? That doesn't really make much sense.
That's all icicle there straight into their head. Look at the movement.
Like, if you're gonna play something, just play like Mercy or something like that, right? Shanghai's kind of playing like a bunkerish comp with the BAP Echo Ash, just trying to out damage the rush from Seoul.
Dry fight gonna be coming up. No big ultimates available.
He's good at Brig. Yeah, you can be as good at Brig as you want. I guess the Brig is good against the Reaper, but Brig is generally quite bad against Brawl because you get run over with everyone else. If you get too close, you just die.
How the rest of this round goes. Actually, they're trying to hide.
Oh yeah, this is still in. You're right. This is still Instapack Brig with 250 health. Okay, maybe it makes more sense. I forgot. Dude, that was around even in 2020? Wow, I thought that's been gone for so long. Yeah, I guess that makes sense then.
So he's not really going to be contesting.
Armor's not permanent at this point still, right?
Pull him forwards, but he does just that. Marvel gets yoinked and stunned up.
Dude, this actually, I remember Echo 2020 was peak stupid copies. Who was it? Who was the Echo? Was it Fleta who just loved to copy Xayah?
You know, does the job, gets his team a little bit of extra healing.
Who was the person who just loved to copy Xayah and they got memed for it? I don't think it was Decay. It was an APAC Echo.
And now a rough situation for the Seoul Dynasty. They're going to be pushing back in against
Decay. Dude, they used to love doing it, and it was so shit. We used to flame them all the time for trying to copy Xayah.
Okay, the Flux is going to send one player up. Marvel will.
I can't remember exactly who it was.
And now he's moving into the off angles. The boop does not get anything.
Dude, Fleta just killed everyone.
Is far too much. The overtime will get triggered in the end, but Toby with the one-man
Toronto Echo copied more like 4 times. Yeah, I forgot who it was, but like this is when people hadn't really worked out that just like copying a Reinhardt or a Diva was like a free win. Or not a free win, just like free value compared to Xayah and those kind of heroes where it's like you need to get energy or you need to get, like, it's hard to get damaged.
Much more competitive than...
Oh, this is also the time in which teams were just not required to have face cams. So, like, it started as they're like, please use face cams, and everyone was like, oh, sure. And then people just progressively stopped using face cams. And then we just got to see their shitty little portraits.
Running the Brawl composition, but going with the Reinhardt and the Orisa. And here we're watching a replay of Void just crushing on this return. He has been
like online score, yeah.
Today. His Sigma has been lights out, amazing. These are probably the 2 best Sigmas that we have in the Asian region going off against each other, Void and Marvel, although Marvel not playing it in that first round.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that. I think that Void is starting to outpace Marvel. His positioning is just too perfect. And here we see a full switch up. Both teams abandoning their previous strategies. Shanghai going for the full anti-dive, while Seoul Dynasty go for the Tracer Sombra dive composition.
Look at it, the Wrecking Ball and the Winston as well. Marvel probably going to be trying to utilize that knockoff as he rolls into Shanghai. Void's going to be sleeping on the job, but Toby is the first one to fall. Gesture so weak.
I just realized they're playing Gesture Marvel. I forgot about that. What was Gesture playing in the first round? Sorry. They're playing Orisa Ryan. Ah, yes. Orisa Ryan. You know how I remembered Gesture was in the game? Because I saw a Winston jump in, instantly die, and I was like, that feels like 2020 Winston Gesture. Gesture Winston. That seems peak Gesture.
Get 1 or 2 here, even if Prophet gives him the moves. The zip
Gesture, okay. We talk about Gesture as being one of the all-time best main tanks, obviously 2018 best Winston. This is the fall of Gesture. 2020 was the fall of Gesture in a lot of ways. His Winston, like, he just got benched by off tanks, and he just when he did come into play the Winston, it looked real bad. Like, he had games where he looked really good, but then he had some where it's just like he just jumps in and dies. It felt like he didn't understand how to change the way you play Winston since Brig came into the game, or since like Echo came into the... Oh, no, Fitz!
Marvel swinging through.
Shattered into the pit.
Him out. What an elf shatter! Oh my goodness!
Oh, also a 2020 special.
He caught, but the
audio is like
he was just jumping
7 seconds out of
trying
sync.
to dodge, but the earth shatter just
Because-
connected.
And I don't think a
that's
lot
kind
of
of a
people
ridiculous
really
way to
remember and appreciate how jank 2020 was in setting up. Remember, this got set up at the drop of a hat. They're like, all of a sudden, you have to do it online. And they did it pretty seamlessly. It only took them like a month or a few weeks to get it set up. But there was delay issues. There was every issue you can imagine with setting up an online tournament. In a short amount of time.
Fed, honestly. I'm going to use that word. He fed at the beginning of the fight. And so he's now swapped over to the Diva. So Seoul Dynasty have given up essentially 50% here in the next 5 seconds. And they're only just starting to get to a position where they can start diving now. Seoul were really good against the Hangzhou Spark and being able to get onto their back line when the Spark ran this comp against them. But these dives from Gesture and Prophet and Fitz need to be perfect.
Watching the line of preview, do you become a sad E-boy too when watching in comp? Dude, I think everyone who still plays ranked is a sad E-boy at this point, or sad E-girl, or just a sad person.
Does not find value. He gets the 1 kill, almost got the second one, but the translocate was there from Lip. Now,
I don't know about that grab. Void and EMP, Dragons?
I don't see why.
And dude, they just look at this. They just dropped. So they are 4v6. And they just drop all 4 of their ultimates.
Does not find value. He gets the 1 kill.
Here comes the grab.
But the translocate was there from Lip. Now,
may as well drop the EMP while we're at it. Well, I may as well use the 12 ult. Lee J gun. Well, we can win. Let's may as well rally.
Using the grab here, but they want to commit to the fight anyway. Shanghai feel like it's winnable. Ooh. They force out the rally, I
questionable.
Guess, They've questionable decision making there from Shanghai Dragons.
They're definitely changing composition here. You do not use a Graviton Surge, and
this was one of the most epic games in our history. But I remember Brent hating this cast because of the tech issues. Yeah, there was this. I remember waking up and reading Bren's comments because this was, as he said, a certified banger. And this is Bren and Josh's first season of casting. This should have been their first major game, which like they casted that was like historic. But there was a lot of tech issues in this season. The audio delay, I think they drop out every now and then. There's internet issues. There's so many things that go wrong in this game, which really like tarnished a lot of the cast. But it was such a good series.
He's got to get value out of it. That's going to be.
Yeah, wait, how does Lip have EMP?
Use a grab.
So Lip throws and uses EMP. In true Lip fashion, he just loves to throw away EMPs, even more so in 2020. It was more of a meme how much he threw away EMPs in 2020.
They're definitely changing composition here. You do
how does he get so much charge?
Molten Core if you're not going to switch comp. I mean, even out of shame, you switch comp after that. That was... That's the kind of situation, though. They only need to win 1 fight here, so the change of composition is perfectly fine.
Who's he shooting at?
And they go over to the dive mirror. This is what I'm most excited to see. Can the
It wasn't as fast as I remember it. It's still pretty good. Seeing it's only between 2 games, but it wasn't as fast as I remember.
Got to play the Tracer here.
All eyes on Fitz, though, with this EMP. He's got to get value out of it. That's going to be...
That was a great EMP. All right. Also, Lip gets disrespected way too much. Sorry, Fitz gets disrespected. I think Fitz is a better Sombra than Lip in 2020. And I don't know if that's a hot take, but I genuinely think Fitz was a better Sombra than Lip in 2020. Sol just sucked and just loved to drop the spaghetti.
And the Seoul Dynasty,
but obviously Lip was better in 2021. I think he had a more well-rounded Sombra. But Fitz's Sombra was very good in 2020 and better than Lip. Even though Lip charged it faster, shit like this happened. This one wasn't that bad, but even then, like, why is he tossing in a translocator and EMPing? Like, how does anyone ever follow that up?
Gesture and Toba, the only targets, they get stuck with it, and Soul, beautiful aggression, the self-destruct into the back line.
Fitz charged slower, but almost always got more value from his EMPs.
They've fallen to pieces here. Now we're up to 70%.
That's perfect in-game leading. I think Badoshin and Gesture...
Lip was a lot less limp in 2021.
They read the Shanghai Dragons like a book. They knew that EMP engage was about to come in. Badoshin hung back and nano boosted the EMP target of Gesture.
Gus, this might be a hot take, but Prof Fitz is better than Flipper, but Shanghai is better than Soul. Oh, nice post stick. I don't think that's a crazy hot take. I can totally see that. Like, I think if Prophet and Fitz were on the Shanghai Dragons would be just as good, right? Like, I can see the point that you're making.
2% on the clock. Prophet finds another one. Will finally go down, but not before the damage has been done. Gesture jumping into the fray. Cleanup kills for him. And that's a dynamic duo, an age-old combo, putting in work. The overtime burning down.
Soul.
Anyone touched this one? Someone has managed to find a point, but
yeah, like Shanghai just kind of like never really got the value from the Sombra after that, right? I feel like just ultimate usage. Oh god, is Fleta gonna win? Actually, I think I remember. Just Fleta win this fight for them.
Recipient of it, he needs to find a kill. He does just
maybe not this one. Dude, Raid Boss! Oh, got him. Oh, didn't get him. Nice play by Toby. Dude, Toby's so good. Who would ever say Toby sucks?
Shield Bash comes out. What a clutch play from Toby, finding himself back onto the
Who would ever
ledge
disrespect
in the nick
Toby?
of time. It was almost sick from stand 1, but Assault Dynasty, they hold strong and are able to claim the round.
Oh, the nano-boosted Fleta gave Shanghai fans a glimmer of hope in that round, but that was an impressive display from the Seoul Dynasty. That amazing duo of Gesture and Profit on the Winston
Toby
and
was
Tracer.
good in 2020.
They've been the best Winston Tracer duo
I will say, Toby was good in 2020.
Early 2017.
I doubted the Toby
late
pick.
2017, early 2018.
And
they've been
Toby was fine.
No, sorry, I was right the first time. I don't know why I'm getting obsessed in the historical nature.
Josh,
why am I bothering? Wolf is watching and I'm getting sweaty, Brian. He's gonna angrily tweet at me because I'm messing up my history again. But anyway.
All right, what do we got? We got the double shield play again from Gesture Marvel. The Orisa Ryan, Lucio Bap, Sim May. Oh boy.
On those two heroes, and they continue to say to Shanghai that they can beat them at their own game.
It's a brawl in the upper sections of Lijiang. We're into the final round, and it's Void. Will be the first
Shanghai
casualty.
just got rolled.
A lot of damage being pumped into them here. You can see Fitz just lasering them down, and as soon as you lose that first player, it's curtains for your chances. Silver lining for the Shanghai
I don't know if there's a hot take,
Dragons
but Charge should have kept Chara instead of grabbing Mandu. Mandu was just a really disappointing player for 2021. Like, let's be honest. Like, he was an exciting rookie coming into the league, but he just did not play well. Obviously, Charge struggled, but you know you can't say Mandu wasn't a part of the problem.
But they're making it work.
God, what is happening?
Okay, Speed Boost running around the corner here. The Immortality Field is committed, but it's still Soul coming out on top. They have a better read on how to take the team fight. Able to work the angles more effectively perhaps, or maybe jump on the weaknesses as Shanghai were rotating. Another clean up in that team fight. Now I gotta say, Josh, we've seen 2 team fights happen, and Soul have only just got 30% on this point.
Very fast, aggressive play coming out from Shanghai to make sure they have as many fights as possible, as many chances to win and disrupt the Seoul Dynasty.
Right.
They're starting to build up, but it's fairly even for both sides. Profit getting his Blizzard a little earlier, though, could be a decider in this fight. I'd like to see Seoul Dynasty take the aggression, play out.
Oh, wow, that was a good lamp. I didn't even notice what happened. I thought he died.
Stand one with the Earth Shatter. Oh, my goodness.
There's so much of a delay.
Using Lips Teleporter.
Honestly, you can't really tell until something big happens.
And that may have just set his team up for success here. A lot of ultimates being expended, though. Stand one finally finds the opening pick off though that Shanghai were looking for here. Counterpin comes out, but the sound barrier is going to be keeping him healthy. And what a read from Stand one, blocking the Earth Shatter away.
I might turn this down just a little bit, just because of how off it is.
Threw it out there, searching for targets, but he will be denied. And Shanghai Dragons.
Shanghai used to bring in Stand one to play Ryan, and Stand one's Ryan was actually pretty good.
Recap at this point,
but Stan one's Orisa and all that, Winston stuff, nowhere near, obviously, Fearless.
What a hero play from Stand 1. He takes the teleporter and hits 2 in the shatter. That forces out Immortality Field and Sound Barrier before the Shanghai Dragons had to use either of theirs. So a huge play coming out from the main tank.
Fearless Ryan was way better. Yeah, this is kind of like at the point where they were trying to like shoehorn Stand 1 in from time to time, and they eventually just stopped doing that, right? Like where Fearless just played 100% of the time.
Just like that, they lose the team fight. They were trying to
Fearless or Fate? I think Fate's done better things for the team. I think Fate brought a level of coordination that was like very important to the Shanghai Dragons in 2021. Like, I feel like Shanghai used to like drop the spaghetti every now and then. But I feel like whether or not it's Fate or coaching or something like that, the Shanghai Dragons felt way more well-rounded than they did in the past. Ooh.
Potentially final map territory now. The Earth Shatter from Stand 1 does collect onto Toby, but the Immortality Field comes out instantly, keeping him alive. Blizzard once again laid down. That's Profit securing.
Soul looking
kills,
better in the brawl.
Locked up. Marvel with the Earth Shatter in the final moments of this team fight. The overtime might be burning.
Soul looked much better in the brawl.
Hopes and dreams are certainly still intact, as they're going to be taking back.
Shanghai went 27-2 in 2020. They barely dropped the spaghetti. It counts as dropping the spaghetti if you always drop the spaghetti in the playoffs. Like, as I said, it's not like heavy drop the spaghetti. It's like Lee Jae-gon going in and feeding, right? And like when it matters most. Where like that situation we just saw where they just dropped 4 ults on Gardens for no reasons, right? Like I feel like they made way less of those errors in 2021 than they did in 2020.
It's to me a little bit, honestly, because
also hog meta, yeah, but like there's also like there was more than just that, right?
So maybe it's something on the offense that they're going to be able to play. I mean, DM's amazing. DM's Widowmaker, one of the best in the league. So, of course, his Ash is probably going to be something similar.
We discussed the 2-second delay of commentary. 2 seconds. That's very nice of you.
Very similar comp.
Also, we got DM in the lineup. And it's actually interesting talking about DM because I remember talking about this so much in 2020. DM is a great player and a great hit scan player. But for whatever reason, when Shanghai Dragons played DM, they just lost games. It was something like dramatic of when they played Fleta Lip, they had like a 90+% win ratio. And when DM was in, it was like 40% or something like that. I can't tell you why DM was bad for the team. I don't know if it's just they didn't play around hit scan very well or whatever. But whenever they DM played, they lost more maps. And it was just so weird. And it eventually got to a point where they just stopped playing DM. And it was the right call. But it kind of felt bad for DM because DM is a good player.
But no Lucio to be rotating around. Lucio not necessarily too much, I'd say, on this first point of Blizzard World.
When they brought in DM, they played Stan 1. Maybe it was like a collaboration of them both, but
without the speed boost and sometimes that action damage boost from the Zen is going to be helping you out with the Discord Orb. But look at this wraparound. Shanghai going to start to put into effect the divide and conquer strategy. Working around.
DM needed to be on a team that didn't have Lip, yeah.
Soul Dynasty.
Izayaki goes down first. That's crazy.
Izayaki will fall. It'll be the first casualty.
It's a bad death. Like Shanghai should just bleed out of this now, right? Oh, Fleta though.
Shanghai Dragons. No more immortality field as well. And
who was Rookie of the Year in 2020? Alarm.
Before he trades his own life away. So Soul have a foothold until this point, and it looks like they are just going to be really cracking this one open.
Dude, but Dosen's fragging.
Shanghai Dragons have come down to contest as well. This is getting very scrappy on the point. It looked for a moment like Stand 1 and Void were going to be able to clutch that, but Dosen has been shredding.
People also forget that Fate's Winston, yeah. I think a lot of people, okay, like, as I said, I'm not talking, like, I think Fate is a great player, and I think he brings a lot of strategy and that kind of stuff, but he is not as good of a mechanical player as Fearless. And the only real major success that the Shanghai Dragons had was when Fate was playing Wrecking Ball consistently, right? Like, Fate can play Winston, Fate can play Reinhardt, but Fate's Winston is nowhere close to Fearless or Mag or, like, the top Winstons in the league. And I think it's something that he definitely needs to work on, because it was great in 2018, but the level of play of Winston just kept going up and up and up. And I, like, as someone said, Fate's Winston was a big problem early on in 2021 in the May Melee when they lost to the Dallas Fuel. And that's one of the reasons they had to invent the Wrecking Ball comp, is because they couldn't match them on the Winston.
Now they have no immortality. That's Soul.
Why would you ever play over Stem 1 over Fearless? Remember, as well, this is Fearless Redemption arc. This is the beginning of the Fearless Redemption arc. At this point, we haven't realized how good Fearless is. Like, Stand 1 was better at the Orisa, sometimes the Reinhardt. Like, you know, obviously we know now that Fearless Reinhardt is very, very good. But yeah, they were still trading time for Fearless.
Dosen is shredding. He's putting out way too much damage.
When did they stop playing Dosen and switch to created? That isn't until very late in the season, if I remember correctly.
Pressure from long distance, and with Prophet firing icicles from the back, and then Fitz putting in pressure, Marvel shooting, Gesture shooting, Toby and Ocean. The shields are getting shredded from Shanghai, and there's just so much momentum.
I'm a Fearless simp, yeah, and like Fearless ends up proving himself, and he ends up playing like, I think in the first half of the season, Stan 1 plays a lot, but like towards the end of the season, I don't think Stan 1 plays towards the end.
Dragons have not put up any sort of defense here on Blizzard World.
Well, the ice wall comes out. A whole pulls together Shanghai, though. Bob gonna be.
Yeah, Shanghai just lost second point. Like, I look away for like 1 second. I go on one tangent. All of a sudden, we're at the second. We're in the third point. Like,
jog his way into the fight. Shanghai desperately hunting for a way to.
Dude, but Dosen's also just getting so many final blows. It just feels like they're. I just don't think they're getting the value from the Echo. I feel like they're struggling to get the Echo to work with the hit scan, and they don't have it like. here's a prime example. Like, Lee Jae-gon should not be on Brig. Like, I think he should just be playing Mercy at this point, right? I feel like people are so in the mindset that Brig is so good, but like Brig just doesn't, like, how do you ever get Inspire uptime against this composition that Soul are playing, right? Like, who do you hit at any moment? Like, I think they're using the Brig too much against these like slower bunker comps. Like, obviously you can pack the Echo and that helps, but doesn't do anything outside of that.
Just to a degree. Now we start to see the amplification.
They're better off playing Zen, like and playing the double flex support like Soul is, or playing a Mercy and damage and hard pocket the Echo.
Now. And again, this card continues to gain momentum.
It just keeps on rolling.
Oh,
there's no stopping
dude, but Dosen, man.
The transcendence again, and whoa, he picks Flame.
This is ridiculous.
Range.
Well, we worked out how to get value with the Brig. Problem solved.
Having a field day, he can do whatever he
but
wants.
Dosen down.
He's finally getting pressured. Lee Jae-gon, how did you get there? How did you get there, Lee Jae-gon?
Can anyone touch though? Okay, stand
heard you talking shit, and they still lost.
Luckily, Lee Jae-gon got that kill.
But Dosen oh god.
Come on, man.
There was 2 players alive.
Is Yaki not on Zen? Yeah. And I feel like this, it's actually interesting. We're getting to the parts of the history of Overwatch where, sorry, we may as well start. We're getting to the parts of history of Overwatch where players hadn't been cemented yet, right? And these players that we know that are like, were they not here? Like, Izayaki was not a must pick and like Zenyatta specialist at this point in the game.
That's got to be some kind of.
Oh, this is when I think.
I found it suddenly. So, look at thanks. Absolute against.
I don't know what's happening. We're just
performance from the Soul Dynasty.
Just watching the merry-go-round go around.
Like Soul the ones who are setting records now. When
double shield, then the Zen's Discord orb,
aye.
also just the raw.
Just some 2020 going on, yeah.
Way too high. You just can't do that. And Shanghai on the attack.
All right, so we get Lee Jae-gon onto the map, and they're gonna play the double shield.
The out of center, they're still just running DM on the Ashe. I thought there would be some specific strat here, but instead we're just seeing DM run the Ashe and Izayaki on the Zen.
And it almost gives me flashbacks, you know, when we see these teams trying to be a little bit too clever with the composition, making too many unnecessary swaps.
True.
What a play.
And like that was the frustrating thing about this DM switch as well, is that I think DM is a much better Widow than Lip. Well, at least at this point when we were talking about it. But Lip's Ashe was really good and has always been really good. So as much as DM was a great hit scan, he was not that much better than Lip, right? Or you could even argue that Lip was better. So it's like, it felt like such an unnecessary swap bringing DM time after time. Wild Person, thank you for the 5 months.
And enter this team fight. Prophet is able to equalize it by getting a pick off where necessary. Prophet once again stepping up to the plate.
I also do think that Shanghai Dragons have made the correct decision here to run the Zen Batiste instead of the Brigitte. Lee Jae-gon got basically nothing done on Brig that entire time. And Fleda with a great first pick there onto Benosian. Actually replied. Fitz with a great shot. But DM's also tagging people up on the high ground. And this should start to go the way of Shanghai, I think.
God, the observing this year was rough. Yeah, it's just another result of the, you know, the players, like the people just having to move to an online scenario, right? Instead of being in like a studio together.
On the defense, they are picking apart Shanghai Dragons and
I like the Prophet Tracer here as well.
Prodding, searching for it, they found it.
So I forgot how. Shit, I forgot to put my camera up here. I forgot how like janky 2020 was as well.
The backline, destroyed Izayaki and Lee Jae-gon. Prophet is a freakish beast. Wobble, motherfucker.
So scuffed, yeah.
If you don't have
Shabadoo TV, thank you for 7 months.
Into taking the duel, he is going to
Tracer really important here to pressure the Shanghai Dragons backline. Yeah, and it's in the same way. Like the Tracer can just exist in your backline. Wow, how does Void kill Toby? Well, the Echo really struggled. Oh wow, that was a good pull rock. You can just like consistently flank, while the Echo, you really need a lot of resources to be able to have that flanking value, and it's just so much easier to die as an Echo compared to a Tracer. Sarcastic thing for the 2 months.
And the halt, but that's all he really needs. He needs just a little bit of help from his team, and he can just go absolutely sicko mode. Now Bob was
exactly where he wanted it.
Goes on immediately, and he finds another pick. Pretty much a solo kill onto stand one.
Oh god, Shanghai's getting bopped right now.
And this is just a disastrous scenario, worst case scenario for Shanghai Dragons. Now, Admittedly, they have a lot of ultimates to work with now. This is going to be their time to shine.
Overwatch was still one of the esports that did it better in early. Yeah, like as I said, like not many people were running online productions. A lot of people just stopped everything completely, and like the online production of Overwatch was good, and it, you know, everyone else had just as many issues as we did.
Atlanta don't really have a Tracer player.
Shanghai just collecting ults. Oh, well, DM kills Prophet. There you go.
But instead, he just gets the headshot. Huge first pick, and they've got all the ults.
People don't really play Ashe like this anymore, right? Like the hard scope Ashe.
Not ideal now for Soul. He was the one who was causing.
Oh, gesture down.
And that is going to be Shanghai's.
They should be able to get this first point. Oh wow, he had 5 health.
A bit of a dangerous
oh, nice lamp.
Flutter has to use the duplicate.
Ooh, there we go.
Use it to try and stay alive, but luckily, he's a man of many talents.
When did Window get big? It's in 2020, right? Is it big here? No, it's Custa here. It happens in 2020. Tiny window, yeah.
So not bad, not bad.
I love watching people just panic pick
after this tournament,
and then
Summer Showdown. Okay, so it came in with the Genji patch.
I'll be honest though,
it's amazing.
It tests, I think, your cognition in the moment to. Okay, what have I got to work with? Okay, I'm on this.
Well, Windows already, like in its current state, is very difficult to like make sure you get value from it. Like the small square just made it so hard to like navigate it effectively.
I gotta heal myself. I gotta play the angles.
Wow. Honestly, the pull follow-ups from the Seoul Dynasty are really good. Like Gesture's pulls into rocks, into follow-ups have been quite good.
Prophet.
That's wild! How does he get that kill?
I don't know. I don't
Discord
know.
orb onto DM, and he just runs in and finishes him off with the melee. That's wild. This guy just produces magic.
Best Orisa of 2021. Damn, that's a statement.
A signature hero from him. And now he's going to be looking to sync up a pulse bomb with a halt, I'm sure.
He can't keep getting away with this. He can't keep getting away with this! Someone stop him in his tracks, please! And while that was going on, the Seoul Dynasty are putting in immense pressure in this choke point. Void falling without the
good. Like, just look at the consistency of these combos.
Over and Prophet, please! These people have families!
It's that
not anymore.
Gesture Prophet synergy, the halt with the pulse bomb. It was so good against the Guangzhou Charge, and it's proving
Marvel
to be
Diva.
just as potent here against the Shanghai Dragon.
Prophet, stop it. They're already dead.
Is the best way of being able to deal
yeah,
with
like, I feel like Shanghai is being way too stubborn with Flutter on this Echo.
Flutter isn't getting enough
and now, like,
to justify
so Lee Jae-gon goes to the Brig to counter the Prophet Tracer, but, like, I guess Brig does a better job against Prophet, like, because it's, like, is this Insta-Pack Brig? I think it's Insta-Pack Brig, right? Or is it slow heal Brig with... I think it's Insta-Pack Brig, so I think it deals better against the Tracer. I think it still is the Insta-Pack Brig, so I think it still deals better with Tracer, so the Brig isn't an awful pick.
Prophet dodging, juking, trying to stay alive while the rest of his team can clean up in the front line, and it is an even fight thus far, but not for much longer. Shanghai are the ones who seem to be coming out.
Oh, so it's 3-pack overheal armor. Ah, okay, so it's 3-pack Brig still, it's just overheal. Yeah, that's what I was sort of questioning.
Seems like they're able to...
Triple packs in stage 4 2019. Ah, okay, there you go. So, but it does overheal armor still, right?
Just absurd. 41 seconds left. 39 seconds left. There really is not much time whatsoever here. And even if the Shanghai Dragons...
It full health, yeah, it full health. So it heals up like it currently does, but it did have overhealing, like,
not even
on top
in the
of it.
same realm. The Seoul Dynasty have already done all the work to put themselves...
Yeah, actually, you can see it. Look at Flutter's health pack here, health here. So Lee Jae-gon packs him, and then it slowly goes up into armor. So it's kind of the way Brig is now, except you could overheal the armor still, which is obviously
whatever strategy
busted.
that Shanghai had in place, it seems to have crumbled before their very eyes, and well, we're going to start to see the ultimates expand.
Oh, that's a big dynamite.
Fitz going to be laying in a bit of that damage. The Immortality Field needs to go down, but no one is paying attention to Fitz in the slightest. He has free reign. It's free real estate now on the flank here, but Prophet is the one who will be getting the kills.
Zen?
As it stands. Opportunities for Flutter to try and clutch this one alongside DM.
Flutter's copies have been clutch, I will give him that.
Using that transcendence, keeping his team alive still.
Dude, his Zen's kind of nasty.
Flutter is still making it work. It doesn't matter what character, what hero he plays. The magic, the damage, it's all done. DM with Bob.
It's crazy how many teams didn't play Echo in 2020. Well, it's a very difficult hero to really like enable and get value from, and like especially in double shield. Echo isn't as good against the double shield. For the reasons that we've seen here, right? Like, you can get shut down pretty hard as an Echo.
Is Fleda going for some kind of record for most heroes cloned? He goes for the clone onto Badosin, builds up a trance, and then kills Badosin as well in his clone form. Huge play by him. But Seoul Dynasty have got double support ultimates here. And as Shanghai Dragons try to get value out of their
the character's quite new at this point, because
hold strong. And that is just nasty. Through the amp matrix, so much damage.
Because when did Echo come out?
The Supercharger is one of the most impactful ultimates in the game, and to just see it go to waste.
It was like
that,
I want to say like March 2020, April 2020. April 2020, yeah. So it's like it hadn't been out very long, and Fleta was one of the few people to really like pick it up.
This tournament, we had them as our finalists. Sure, we had them as potentially our winners, but none of us were really expecting them to be getting.
Oh, nice play by Boy. That's great.
Nope. Void gobbles up that pulse bomb, but it's one of the rare situations where Prophet hasn't just had his will exerted onto the match in raw form. If Void tries to engage with the flux here,
Echo was actually broken this stage, just didn't get the haven't got the nerfs yet, yeah.
It's not gonna matter.
Because the beam is still stupidly long at this point, right? Because the beam was like 20% longer, 30% longer, or something like that. Oh,
the yoink. Okay, the boom's coming out for Shanghai. A little bit scary then from that POV. I thought it was gonna be moving into a different direction, but luckily Lee Jae Gong is there. Able to, whoa, okay, dynamite straight into your face.
What do you mean? Isn't the Echo last here in the game? Yeah, think about this. We just hit the most recent PvP change, like dramatic change in Overwatch. This is the last time we got a shiny new toy.
Marvel might try and rip away as well. He's nearing his gravitic flux. If he can catch people on the card, it would be just so gut-wrenchingly awful to lose this to a C9.
Oh, what happened?
They just didn't touch Bren.
What happened?
Bren, they just didn't touch.
No.
One of the worst C9s in history.
No. I'm not having this. I'm not having this.
They just didn't touch. I don't know what else to say.
Was it a gravitic flux?
Nope, it was not the gravitic flux. As far as I can tell, I was looking at the top of my screen. No gravitic flux was used.
All right, we'll watch it back.
They just didn't touch.
They did such a great job of casting this. I remember it in the moment. So to give context of what it is, so like, look at how stupid this is, because the spectators actually get this really well. We're going into the final fight. They have a bunch of ults. They have Copy. They have Bob. This is gonna be good. Look at Lee Jae Gong.
That Marvel might try and rip away as well. He's nearing his gravitic flux. If he can catch people,
him and the BAP just. I think it was cool. Yeah. So here's what happened. Fleta starts getting killed in the backline by the Tracer. So they both go back to help him. But they both don't. No one touches.
What happened?
They just didn't touch Bren.
What happened?
Bren, they just didn't touch.
No.
One of the worst C9s in history.
No. I'm not having this. I'm not having this.
No. I'm not having this. Soul go up 2-0.
To a quarter speed so that you can see.
Yeah, so this is the best way we could get the production to go side by side. This is the only way we could do it, is by Josh broadcasting his camera to have the overlay of he just played it on the replay of the YouTube. He's just screen sharing his camera. That was how we got it.
They got both of their backline here,
and he was able to draw on it.
And they've got Void in a forward position as well. So there's a lot of players around. Aggressive and manages to just snap.
Because this is also the time in which there was no halftime. They had a halftime still for like breaks in the matches, but there was no desk at 3 a.m. So they just the casters just did their own desk and they just talked about shit for like a few minutes.
They're having a bit of fun. They're focusing on the game.
Still no halftime? Well, they got rid of halftimes. And I think getting rid of halftimes and these breaks in the middle of matches was a good thing. There was just like, it was like, I did the halftimes in 2020. They were so useless. You didn't have enough time to talk about anything useful, but there wasn't enough, but like,
And they're gonna play
The time just counted as people just left. People just left the stream, or like it was so non-free flowing that it just broke the whole like value of anything. So now we got Gesture Monkey.
Isolated against dive compositions, and you can see him just spamming to try and find fits.
Wow.
Oh, what the?
Compositions, and you can see him just spamming to try and find fits.
Wow. Okay, Izayaki. There you go.
He's
son.
got
All right,
rolled.
quick little burst shot straight to the head. Tracer, unfortunately, cannot survive that. Only
Alright, are we gonna get good Gesture Monkey or are we gonna get bad Gesture Monkey? It was always a gamble. So they're gonna play the Winston Anna Tracer Sombra stuff against the double shield. I don't understand how they get in for an effective dive at all.
This is the same kind of style that I said.
I guess they got set up and they've got an okay dive. Well, here you go.
But he has been pushed down to the point now. So Shanghai have lost some of their positional advantage, and the dive has already come in. They've killed DM.
I feel like they should have been able to punish the tanks here. Like, why did they not punish the tanks? They killed Prophet. Why do they not go in this room? They should really go in this room.
No armor pack, I believe. So
they just let the Winston Diva sit there and then they get an effective dive, and they've also split their attention from the choke so that people can just dive. Like,
this is the same kind of style.
yeah, they were just very split.
With Void trying to occupy these off angles, but he has been pushed down to the point now. So Shanghai have lost some of their positional advantage, and the dive has already come in. They've killed DM.
DM falls. You lose a lot of your long-range damage now, and you
Casting is not synced up at all. Oh, 2020, baby.
Push him away while the rest of the Seoul Dynasty are able to jump, leap, capture. Who knows? Whatever word you want to use, it doesn't matter because Shanghai Dragons, they lose a team fight in the end of it, and Seoul Dynasty are going to be getting a very quick capture time. Most crucially, they didn't have to use...
Note, Stan 1 DM still in. Still in. I think when they want to play the Asherissa, Stan 1 DM were in, and it just... It wasn't great. Easy 3-0 for Seoul.
I'm getting that sinking feeling in my stomach, Brent. Someone needs to go huge on Shanghai to save them here.
Prophet's is working his way in. 200 HP on him as well because of the armor pack. Makes a big difference. You might not think it.
Oh, did he lamp for that? No, Izayaki actually held that lamp. That was smart.
Magic in the back line. Goes for a bit of a beat.
Did they just... Oh, miss.
No ult's being used. Gesture now.
This is a good time to play Brig.
Just about whiffs from
Dude, Jess is just going ham.
Fitz gets the kill onto Fleder. Still alive as well.
Jess is doing so much damage. They finally get lamp out. Oh, EMP. Wasn't as good as it could have been. Oh, but it was good. Oh, okay. That was close.
Self-destruct being sent in as well.
Dude, the casting is so delayed. How did they not fix that in halftime? Oh, good. Nice Fleder juggle.
He's going for that Anna in the back line. Nice juggle. Good techers. Gets the opening.
Did Bren really just say good techers?
Wobble, wobble, motherfucker.
Dude, Prophet is going sicko right now.
Double shield, but Prophet ready and waiting.
Yo, Pray Twitch, thank you very much for the prime sub.
Not able to really.
Fleder can do it all, and this is what really made Fleder the best Echo in 2020. He literally just played everything at such a high level.
Poppy's gesture and does so much work, amazing stuff, and they don't even give up a single tick. I thought that
they changed the feed tech given a casting between 2020 and 2021.
But the EMP
I'm trying to remember how it was done in 2020.
With their dives at all, and Shanghai remained strong.
They did change some of the... They changed the video broadcasting software, but yeah, during the 2020 and 2021, they did fix a lot of the glaring issues. 2020 was easily the worst year about, yeah, but it was the worst year of most esports, right, because of just COVID and how that caused everything. But yeah, it was... There was a lot of scuffness.
Taking a bit of spam damage, building up these ults, but Gesture's trying to create space. They want to try and take away the high ground.
Oh, that was a good nade.
They force Stan 1 down onto the low ground.
Dude, Shanghai is playing with fire, just hanging out here.
Nade there from Badosin. That was very long range. 3 targets going to be anti-naded. That's going to force some ults out. As you can see, DM using Bob sends him up onto the high ground, but slept
Gesture just beating the crap out of these supports as they sit in the lamp. Wow, that was a great play.
He does best on that Winston roll. While Prophet is able to capitalize by using his own pulse bombs.
Good EMP by Fitz again.
Have to use some ultimates to try and turn this one. As you can see, Gesture gets sent straight up into the air.
Ooh, there it is.
Eventually, but this is looking disastrous for Shanghai right now. They've lost so many players. Shanghai.
2020 was the worst year for nearly everything. Yeah, that's a good way to put it as well. The world had a shitty year.
This is beautiful stuff, actually, from Seoul. They're deserving the win here.
Certainly living up to some of the expectations we had for Seoul at the start of the season. but I mean, it feels.
I missed that. Did they improve OBS? Well, they weren't using OBS. I don't believe we were running out of... Oh, no, we were running OBS.
Got a bit of a read on what Sol are running. They realized it's a double shield, a bit of long range.
I can't remember. I think we were using OBS and we were doing an alternate path, right?
I like it. It's a smart move.
Yeah, and in 2021 we used a different casting feed. So they were like routing it through OBS and like, but the way it was is that like they used a lot of different unique software, but they were just sort of trying to plug everything in together to make it work. But for those reasons, it made it really hard to like fix issues. If something stopped working, it became very hard to work out what was causing the problem because there were so many chains in the link, right? DM Sombra, the thing of legend. Stand one Winston, DM Sombra is what they're going for here, by the way.
And Prophet is on the Echo. An interesting.
They have Fearless on the bench and Lip on the bench. Think about that. Fearless and Lip are not in to play the Winston Sombra.
All right, first fight, he's had a lot of impact. I would expect him to...
Links in the chain, yeah, same thing.
...in taking the direct Echo duel in the air against Fleta, but with the armor packs and slightly better defensive positioning, he looks like he's got confidence.
Yeah, now Void's worked his way in, as you can see. Oh, nice Bionade to counteract that to Prophet. The hack back off of weight. Nice hack as well, but Soul are potentially stabilizing because
the best Winston, the best Sombra in the world not playing. Yeah, in their defense, it wasn't really determined that much at this point, but yeah.
Overwhelmed them with way too much damage. A lot to work with here.
Yeah, I'm surprised Shanghai capped the first point. I was not expecting them to cap it.
And just a couple of more stragglers in the backline. Gesture was trapped in the corner. Shanghai are in a very solid position.
Smurf was the best Winston in 2020? Yeah, probably.
Yep, they'll be able to cap this up. They'll have a bunch of time available for them as well. 5 minutes.
Fields is just another guy from Contenders at this point. Fields was just trying to fix his reputation from 2018. Let's be realistic.
And a similar ability to be able to roll in. Yeah, they don't have the Nano Boost available and the Primal Rage, but the EMP and the Rally can be enough to just completely dominate an opponent. So let's see whether Shanghai are able to continue this momentum. A good EMP here from DM would...
Stem one just evaporated. Holy crap.
A good EMP here from DM would be huge.
He gets decloaked though at the nick of time, and Stem one dies as he initiates. Sticky bombs from Prophet.
Prediction sticky bombs as well. Yep, Prophet actually looking pretty decent on the Echo so far.
That was a rally as well. That's going to be so hard. They need to get a Nano and then Nano EMP, right?
Very uncomfortable, Bren. You don't have to dance around it. He's been bottom 5 in basically all statistics so far on Echo. And he's now looking all right so far in what we've seen on Hanamura.
How strong was Echo at this point? Echo was really good, but as you said, Prophet Echo was, as Brendan Josh just alluded to, Prophet's Echo, for such a high caliber player, his Echo was really bad when it first started. As Josh just said, he was like bottom 5 in all categories, but you also need to relate it to the way that the team is playing as well.
Now with the EMP ready and waiting. He's going to try and catch at least one of the tank, two of the tanks. He's getting the positioning set up.
I would say Bedosen's on Brig while Toby's on BAP because maybe they got fucked by the comp.
Oh my goodness.
DM is going to EMP eventually. Holy rock by Marvel. Yeah, let's have a look at it.
One of the tank, two of the tanks. He's getting the positioning set up. He's just...
DM actually just got rolled.
Positioning. I don't really know. What is that, Marvel? Oh my goodness. The 180, the accretion, it all came out.
That's not DM's fault. Yeah, you can't blame DM for that.
Did not know what hit.
Right?
Incredible reaction times to realize that you're getting hacked.
Sometimes you get got.
Your accretion already primed and knock it onto the Sombra. DM perhaps getting a little bit unlucky there, honestly. But this is it from Marvel's.
He also has Bongo, so he gets the one shot as well. I think without the Bongo, he doesn't get the one shot.
And whips it around to
that is crazy.
Yeah. But a little bit unfortunate for DM as well because
almost like they're drunk and slow. Yeah, why not both, honestly?
The accretion. There was no way that he would have been able to stop himself getting hacked.
No way.
DM continues.
Good pull. So Shanghai just gives up on playing dive at this point, which it's so hard to get in as Orisa Sigma. Like playing Brig Orisa Sigma is just so brutal.
You keep losing your players like this, you're never really gonna get an opportunity.
I also don't like that Lee J Gun stayed on Brig. Like I don't think Brig is good here.
They just can't get in.
Maybe it's fine, but yeah.
Prophet and Fitz are doing
it's gonna be so hard. Like DM still has the EMP, by the way.
And Marvel's playing really well on this high ground.
It's still one shots, you just need a melee, if I remember. Yeah, it does, but like, if you rock someone, they're generally not in melee range, right?
That he can always take the high ground again very easily because there's a staircase there.
Yeah.
Brig is the Echo healer, but Mercy probably better. Yeah, it's just that like Brig can't get value outside of packing the Echo, right? And it's like, is it really worth it to just run Echo? DM is one day gonna use this EMP.
Just goes for a generic
nice rock.
Back, stunned up, bashed, forced to relocate away. Fleder using
Wow, it doesn't get the flux.
2 minutes.
Didn't get profit though, and it still has the EMP. This is big. Because they should be able to get a pretty good EMP here now.
But still, they do find an opening, pick off onto profit. That's not bad.
It wasn't good enough, I think, is the problem.
But it is Gesture who comes out on top.
Marvel's so good. His Sigma was really good.
I've got to say,
like, there's a reason Marvel played so much. Played the off-tank rollers. Sigma was very good. The problem that Seoul Dynasty ran into in 2020 was when you needed to switch from Sigma to Diva, Marvel Diva was not as good, not as impressive.
So much longer. I don't understand that component, but also it just seems like a bit of a joke at the moment from the Shanghai Dragons. I wonder whether their mentality is still all there after their performance on Blizzard World. Because they're making.
Why no Michelle? Yeah, and still wondered why. Like, actually, is Michelle on the team at this point, or do they have TU?
And they can barely even take the high ground.
I think it's Michelle, and then it goes to TU later, right?
Seems like almost a different team from what we saw when they played against New York earlier. The hull secretion is going to be missing here from Shanghai. Double shields mitigate a lot of the damage as Prophet was sending it in, but a duplicate comes out now, and Prophet wants to go straight.
Oh, that's not a great flux. Oh, he hit the Brig still, though.
Right off the back of it, the flux utilized, pulls him up, only connects to one target, but it might just be enough. His team is going to be trying to work their way in as well.
Oh, Shanghai's actually getting bodied. I don't remember this series being so one-sided in the first few maps.
I got a lot of questions here.
This literally just looks Soul's. Did Soul really get reverse swept for this?
Absolutely no answers here from the Shanghai
I didn't
Dragons
remember
squad.
that.
We talk about peaking at the right times in the playoffs, and Seoul Dynasty have definitely done that. Prophet looking great on the Echo.
Man, feels Soul, man.
One of his signature picks. I mean, the Tracer would really be the signature pick for Prophet. But Shanghai Dragons have not really.
How'd you not remember? It's been a while, man. As I said, I also blacked out 2020.
Down to it, when it's all on the line, they seem like they're crumbling.
Yeah. Flashbacks to the London Core 2018, the playoff run of a lifetime, where this London Core now playing for Seoul, now the Seoul Core.
Yeah.
Might just be stopping Shanghai right in their tracks.
Yikes.
Accretion comes out, Lee Jae Gong falls, 3 players, no one can touch. I am in disrepair. I mean, it's...
It ain't close.
Okay. All right, Josh.
So it has been done.
This is where Fearless goes to God status. This is when they start just playing Fearless Lip. Right? Like, I remember being this, like, this is the beginning of, like, the heavy narrative. Just play Fearless Lip. Like,
the 4 format, and with these kind of rookie
bring in the boys. Bring in the good half.
Players on Shanghai Dragons are rookies, but a lot of them are
how much overlap of tragedy is there between Soul and Fusion? There's a lot.
Izayaki's pretty inexperienced. Lip is a rookie. Fearless is pretty inexperienced.
This is when I started building my Church of Lip. It's really the rise of Fearless and Lip, right?
We'll see. Shanghai, everything to play for now. Prize money.
Spotted.
Yeah, Translocator is spotted here, but
that's it. Put DM back in. I've seen enough.
Comes out, Prophet takes out Lip immediately. That was because of the Translocator.
Yep.
They knew where it was.
Fantastic stuff from Fitz, just scouting that out immediately.
DM was hitting a lot of shots. Team just played better with Lip, yeah. As someone said before, they're also anchored to stand 1, right? It's not that DM's hit scan is bad. His Sombra's not great. It's not like his hit scan is bad. It's just they just couldn't make it work.
Packed up now, the high ground being contested as Seoul are going to start to contest this one, pushing them away. They can't move steadily forwards towards its next objective.
Hey, boy.
Be receiving a armor pack just to keep him nice and healthy. Also try and deny away the high ground as well.
Nano Echo? Nano Prophet?
As clean as a Tracer per se, but he's still going to get
okay.
At the end of the
Is the Archie on the Ana?
Clearly have faith in him. He's
EMP?
beam all over the bloody shop.
That was a good EMP by...
This is given a bit of a...
Hey, buddy. No, don't lie down. I love you. I know I do. You can't be in the room. Lie down on the keyboard. He would. He was this close from lying on the keyboard, and then he's gonna like close the stream, and it's just gonna end in tear.
An opening, but now the
End in
EMP
tears.
is committed. Lip was not caught by it, and Lip is 3% away from one of his own, and here comes the counter EMP.
Only hits Fitz?
Lip was not caught by it, and Lip is 3% away from one of his own, and here comes the counter EMP. Surely Shanghai can capitalize off of this. Fearless diving into the fray. Toby falls.
Prophet beaming a full HP Diva.
Need to try and coordinate this.
He hit 3? Oh, okay.
Focus and beam is not going to be doing much when Void is on full HP. But it looks
Sound delayed? Oh, yeah, he might have been talking about Fitz, dude. So confusing. Okay, here we go. Lip 50 to another EMP as well.
Cause a bit of more instability in the backlines as he brings down Badosin.
Great charge as well in the cleanup there from Lip, and well executed on the defense. Nice nano boost onto Fearless. He got hacked, but he died for a good cause. And
Lip just used the EMP on cooldown. It's smart. Like, that's how it should be used. You shouldn't try and get 6-man every time. Like, it is fine to EMP one person. The reason Lip gets memed is he EMPs one person, and it's like the worst target to solo EMP. Like, if you want to solo EMP the Winston after he jumps in just so that he guaranteed dies, not a bad EMP. But like, Lip just somehow like misses the world. Pat giving armor in this VOD? Yeah, PTSD right there. Good rally from Lee J Gun. That's just gonna completely negate. Like, Soul literally just came in and just dropped everything. And Lip's almost at EMP again. Dude. Oh, wow. Nice sleep. Please stop copying supports.
Team fight continues, as you can see. There's shots being
Fleta just nanos the Ana. At least he actually got Ana value there, so I'll give him that one.
Well, why not? Void, here you go. Have that, sunshine. Get that down your neck. See if you get some heels in you.
Get that down your neck.
Now, look at that.
Bren went full British on that one.
Dragons looking like they're going to be holding this one now with one.
I remember that. I remember the Ana copy as well, because at this point we were just molding about everyone copying supports, and we're like, don't do this. Except for that one. That one was okay. You can do that one.
That is astounding.
You always underestimate Fleta. Here we do.
But it all comes down to Fitz's EMP.
Proceeds to out-support Custa. But like, just think about it. Like, what we know now. What, like, just copy the Diva. Right? Like, Diva is actually so broken to copy. Why did no one do it at this point?
Considering that Prophet hasn't really been able to get anything.
Fleta copied down a lot in the 2021 Melee, and yeah, it doesn't work, right? Like,
that EMP. This is a great map selection for the Shanghai Dragons.
Nice started it. Yeah. Where's Nice now? Okay.
We know that he's been uncomfortable in the past. Can Fitz make the magic happen? 3-man EMP.
Connects onto 3 targets, funnily enough. But are there any casualties? That's a question, and it actually ends up going for the side of Shanghai. Badosin, he falls. He did manage to unload the nano boost.
Dude, Shanghai. This is like the moment that Shanghai realized it's like, wait.
25 now. And you can start
it just looks oppressed. Like, it feels like Soul hasn't even got close to getting in as well.
Yeah, Izzyaki carried that final.
Heard us Nice, man? I got nothing against Nice. As I said, it was just funny that people were like, Nice started it.
Of his own. So really making his impact felt, despite the fact that his team was up against the wall. And now Lip is going to be close to a nano boost in this final overtime engagement.
Dive attempted to
oh,
nice
Lip trolled?
there from Badosin. He did a quick little 180.
Lee J Gun almost has rally though.
Beams him. Executing him. Quick
what was this Marvel Diva bomb? This is the most Marvel thing to ever happen. Look at this Diva bomb. He gets knocked away. He whips it. Accidentally hits the wall and comes down, so it kills Fleta.
Him as he was below half HP.
Exactly like we drew it up. Good thinking. That's a main tank Diva bomb. Yeah.
Overtime will be burning here. Fearless using
genius play. How do they lose this? Lip, if Lip gets here and gets the EMP, it's just so strong. Good EMP as well. Oh, Gesture. Look at Gesture. He's so close. He's 99%. He gets slept by Izzyaki and then EMP'd and then dies. As he's about to get Primal. If he gets that Primal off, he's... Oh, wow, that Lip EMP was nuts. How does nothing die? Oh, God, mainly because Fleta went onto the brig. Wait, was he brig? Did he get a rally? No, he just copied... Like, why copy brig?
Hacked up across the board. 5 are hacked up, but it's still
too much healing.
Shanghai Dragons are finding the picks. Void with the self-destruct. No one can touch. That is a full hold.
And
Do
exactly.
the two rally stack? I actually don't even know the answer to that question. I honestly don't want to know the answer to that question. I'd rather not.
Day is actually not very good for Tracer. It's very hard.
Double rally, yeah, like, and that's what, like, we were molding. It's like, why does everyone keep copying supports? And I think it's because they see the supports and, like, when they're diving the supports, they use it to save themselves. But, like, yeah.
Many people talk about that one, Josh, but 5, 4, 3.
I feel like a ton of teams got hold on Gibraltar A, and the reason they probably got hold on Gibraltar A is you kind of need to play Winston on Gibraltar, and Brig is so broken at this point of the game that it's just impossible to dive. The Winston's just useless.
It's time for Shanghai.
Did you hear Bren counting?
4, 3.
Oh, it is.
Not many people talk about that one, Josh, but 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There you go. I can count down. Once again, the doors are going to open.
Because, so for those of you unaware, that's how they sync it. Like, you would look at the game clock and you would count the game clock, and they would try and sync the game clock to you talking and get it so they can get a feel for it.
It's time for Shanghai Dragons to unleash their attack.
Shanghai do look like
so far behind. Yeah, it's not even close. Like, that just highlights how far behind it was.
About them not really looking.
Like, that's not even in the same ballpark, right? Of like sync.
Oh, it's spotted out the Translocator. Fitz is going to
dead.
get punished here. Translocator's been broken. He's on
he's 1 HP. Void chases him down with the boosters. What a critical pickoff. And again, it's almost, it is like Groundhog Day. We saw the exact same scenario play out in the previous round. The Translocator gets spotted, and it's this game of cat and mouse. If you can find it, if you don't hide it well enough, well, it means that you might just end up losing the team fight.
They almost have the nano. If they get to the nano EMP first, will Flutter down. That's a big pick.
About the same as Lip. Lip falling very low, has to move backwards. Flutter goes down, though. That might put an end to things for the time being, but it's okay for Shanghai Dragons. They still have 3 minutes remaining.
Alright, Soul should get a lot of ults from that, so he should be chilling. Dude, Prophet's got ult already. He just bombed.
They are losing the team fight, but they've got so much time remaining. You know, 2 minutes and 52 seconds is a plenty of time. And Shanghai is still building up to a few of these ults.
Do you think Josh just said 2 minutes and 52 seconds?
Or they can dodge
because he was trying to tell the producers like how far, like what time he was at?
EMP target. These are all
it's an oddly specific number.
Win a team fight by defending or by attacking, and it only takes one team fight win, and they've won this map.
That's right, Josh. 1 team fight win. That means that Seoul Dynasty.
How is Lip able to just set up in this room?
Shut down Shanghai. Prevent this
he's about to get hacked. No! Feels bad, man.
It comes down to a few key moments.
Good EMP. Toby gets the rally off beforehand. Fitz also gets a credit. Dude, Lee J Gon's at 60% rally.
He's now going to be traded out from absolutely every angle.
No,
Fitz gets the lead on the
Fearless.
Fearless, whacking in the corner. The Primal Rage. Not really amounting to much as he slept up into the corner here. Seoul Dynasty once again finding a pick-off. Void falling means that you're missing one of your tanks now. Shanghai are struggling to a degree. I cannot think of a more heartbreaking finish to this series if they get full held by Seoul in this section, but it's looking like more and more a reality.
Unthinkable. Don't even mention it into existence.
Fighters on Diva.
That would be
do it. Good. Okay,
he
didn't go for the tanks. He just entered into the Echo.
Flutter moving over to the Diva. He's gonna have a bomb. Oh, but he gets hacked and removed from his mech as well. That duplicate absolutely coming to no success there for the Shanghai Dragons. Well, he puts a bomb into the back.
Oh, Prophet goes down.
That ult charge rate is truly bonkers.
It is pure chaos occurring on the points. The self-destructs are flying. The nano boosts are coming out. Another one. Pure chaos occurring on the points.
A bunch of Soul were dead already, but yeah.
The nano boosts are coming out. Another one.
What was that demon by Marvel? Yeah. People I haven't realized that just throwing it up in the air is generally better.
Much like the spice, Josh. It is 100% flowing in a direction.
Soul can't lose that. It's just a map. They don't need that map.
To be honest, ladies and gentlemen.
They don't need that map. They'll get the next map.
Maybe. Are they just so?
They can't win 3 back-to-back. No. Soul's not going to choke that hard.
No, I'll tell you, absolutely not.
Yeah. I feel like they'll win on King's Row, you know? I feel good about King's Row.
And then later,
scoreboard is currently 3-1. Oh, 3-1. There you go.
But it did not happen tonight. And now, hopefully, for Shanghai Dragons fans, we are going to see Phyllis and Lip continue throughout this match.
Yeah. Fingers crossed.
Those gargoyles are so ugly. It's unbelievable.
I don't even think it's a choke. Shanghai just subbed in their good players, and that's it, right? Like, they just played the right players in the right meta in the right situation. This is the beginning of this roster, right? Like, the beginning of when they just play Flutter, Lip, Void, Izayaki, Liu Jie gone. Obviously, Fearless plays in season 3, but then Fate comes in and they just play these players all the time now, right?
I've got to tell you a little piece of history here. The last two times.
The bicycle wheel. Sorry.
Shut up, Brent. It's the future. They work on some different type of movement. All right. Anyway, the last time, that these two teams faced, it was.
Who was responsible for the common part? I remember someone telling me that like because a bunch of like the casters complained, and apparently they going into the 2020 season they wanted to do more of those flyovers, and they wanted to do more of the third-person cameras. Remember they did that a lot for like Genjis and stuff like that, and everyone was like, "Can we like don't?"
And these two opening picks are so perfect for the Dynasty.
Yep, I'm grimacing a little bit for all the Shanghai fans right now watching this one because Seoul Dynasty, well, they've come out and they are coming out strong. It is a lovely set of pickoffs, and when Profit is on the tracer, oh, what more can you ask for?
Literally the fight. Did they just put it in the wrong direction? Dude, they're so far behind now. That has to be almost 10 seconds. I feel like they moved them in the wrong direction.
Further Winston a bit, so I don't mind this, but I don't really know that Fleta can go toe-to-toe with Profit. The best he can hope for is to check him, to stop him just running rampant around the rest of the team.
Well, he definitely put Lip in check there, forced to translocate back. And it's 30% and counting. Profit now has the armor packs available. Not quite just yet, but still.
Oh, here we go, Shanghai.
Start to try and contest this one. They move forward. Toby goes down, Fitz as well. Nice opening pickoffs now for the Shanghai Dragons as they pushed up onto the point and took control ever so slightly, ever so slowly. Able to win out the team fight actually in the neutral.
Stop Fleta, yeah, good luck, yeah. That's a future 2020 MVP right there.
Shanghai flip over the point, so good work from them.
It's crazy Profit has been near solo carrying his team's videos. Hey. No Fitz slander.
Is a huge part of the Shanghai Dragons.
Profit and Fitz are a duo.
With just the,
Profit is great, but Fitz is also there.
The Primal Rage, and they want to also use the
everyone else, yeah, he's been carrying.
And have those just keep cycling and keep feeding to build each other.
True, fair enough, yeah.
Might be the next game winner.
There's a lot of Fitz slander that happens. Fitz is just a phenomenal player. Like that's, I feel like people forget how good Fitz is, and Fitz gets disrespected too much.
Use the Primal Rage just to batter a couple of these targets.
But Ocean did play very well in solo at the beginning, yeah. It is interesting that they do keep playing Toby, Bap, Bedos, and Brig. Like, I wonder if it's because they like Bedos and Brig or if they like Toby, Bap more. I feel like it's probably Bedos and Brig.
Never ideal. Ult's being utilized here. Void was sent straight up into the air, back down again and taken out. Profit and Fitz cleaning up aisle 9, if you will.
I think so. To this year, it'll be very interesting.
I'm not even going to go there, actually.
Wow, that actually worked.
Profit.
Professional spy check.
Bumped into Lip.
Oh, that's probably it. That's definitely it. If they wanted, Bedosa wants to switch to Zen, he can. That's a good idea.
And build up.
That's good. That's actually probably what the reasoning was. You want your Brig to be able to switch to Zen if you go to full double shield.
A long way from any big ultimates here. Massive ult advantage for the Seoul Dynasty, and they're in control of the point. Hard situation for Shanghai to come back into. They need a good dive.
Who did they bench Gesture for? In 2021? Or in 2020? Gesture gets benched by Marvel.
You need to start playing aggressively.
Marvel starts playing the main tank and...
Supercharger, which is a good
well, actually, they just start playing double off tank, right?
Is it going to be enough? Well, Fearless says yes. Leaping straight into the back line, setting up Fleta for success as well. He's forcing the positioning around, and Shanghai, they've got to recontest this, they've got to recap the point.
Toby is on Soul, that's true.
Soul probably going to be quite...
It'll be interesting to see how Toby Coach ends up doing.
Up to 99%.
Fleta pulls.
Profit, well, he will be falling in the end. Maybe a second one for Fleta, if he's been a good boy.
Yeah, they played a lot of Sigma Diva. Like, Gesture gets benched and they just play double off tank.
Not gonna lie.
Yeah, really clean. He's been able to do quite a bit of work so far in this round. More than I was expecting going toe-to-toe with Profit. And Fitz on the McCree. Whoa, that's an accretion,
That's so dangerous. 25 health. Has to use a
recall. Lip EMP to close it all.
Marvel's been kind of bonkers at shutting down Fleta and Lip on these agile heroes throughout the
Brent just made a weeb joke. Yeah, we've lost it all.
Actually, it was a shutdown on DM, wasn't it? Because he was the one playing the Sombra at the time. But either way, he's been successful. What a pulse.
Oh, solo EMP on Marvel. That's a great solo EMP. That's kind of what I was talking about earlier. He just solo EMPs Marvel and they just murder Marvel. Especially when Rally's going. Like, you can't... EMPing lots of people isn't going to do anything valuable.
But the point is slowly being cut back up again, and they've got to get some presence on here, right? But the point is slowly being
Yeah, it's triple pack brick.
They gotta get some
Just doesn't show on the UI.
right now. Soul have all the positioning in the world, taking complete center stage.
Where does that armor and
trace
tracer come from? The packs give 50% over armor right now. So the packs that you have 3 packs and it works how it does.
Dragon, that is, can just roll over them, cap up that
as
point,
it does these days, but you got 50 armor over armor.
Steadily moves forward, creeping ever so closer.
Brandon Sideshow, the most unhinged possible duo. Oh yeah, they're lost in the sauce. It was great though. Overheal, so the fact it's the thing that it's not even overheal, it's over armor. Like over armor is just crazy. Like armor is such a valuable thing that I think was very underrated in early days of Overwatch, but it's just so broken.
Managed to do this. If they're able to reverse sweep,
I think Smurf and Prophet can be as good of a duo as Gesture and Prophet. Yeah, absolutely. Like Smurf is probably better than Gesture, almost definitely these days, but
it doesn't happen
historically
because it is so difficult to come back from this mentally. But Shanghai are getting close to it. Now they're going to be making a switch up of the compositions. They spotted what Soul were running. They're going to be making some wholesale switches.
Yeah, they're going to see Bap Zen instantly go to the dive. The Zen's going to be useless.
Really well for them. On map 1.
Armor is gone in Overwatch. Not all armor is gone in Overwatch 2. Brig armor is gone in Overwatch 2. She provides like over shields. That's sort of like what they've said in the past.
But they haven't really
it's the same with Lucio beat. It's going to be like Lucio over shields or something like that.
Give up the first contest, if you like,
instead of like the blue.
Which,
because like that's the thing that makes Brig so broken, right?
See Fleta trying to take the 1v1, dives into the back.
I know they said also Agama was gone. I don't believe so. Like tanks need armor, right? Like
still alive for now. Fleta wins out that 1v1 and the point gets recapped over. Shanghai
get the cap as well.
There and everywhere.
Good dive.
When he's on the map, nothing is impossible. And it's going to be a beautiful team fight win for him.
He picks up 4 kills in that fight, including beasting Prophet in the 1v1 off screen. That's phenomenal. He needs to keep up that kind of performance to check Prophet. And he's forced full-scale swaps for the Soul Dynasty.
Yeah, the Fleta Tracer chat Esty. Oh!
Well. Throwing in the bio nade. Oh! It wasn't a 1v1.
That was a great sleep by Izayaki.
That's incredible stuff. Incredible from the flex support.
Oh, good stick by Prophet.
That's why they brought him in. That's why they brought in the big guns.
Less good stick by Fleta.
Nice stick from Prophet. Takes out Lee J. Gone. I mean, these are the openings that you want to see. This Tracer battle that's occurring. It's like the battle of the Titans in the mountaintops hurling lightning bolts at one another. Two behemoth players, legendary in their status, flexing on each other.
What happened to EMP? Lip EMP?
But
he got bashed?
That's why they brought in the big guns. But
he EMP Gesture Prophet. Okay.
Takes out Lee J. Gone. I mean, these are the openings that you want to see.
Murder Gesture, yeah. The EMP's been good from Lip so far.
In the mountaintops hurling lightning bolts at one another.
Forgot how disorientating the delay was at this time. Yeah, it's so hard to watch with such a heavy delay.
Nice little sleep there once again. Fearless going to be removed from the fight. Still anyone's game, I want to say, despite the fact that Soul are finding the opening pickoffs. Fearless is causing disruptions with the Primal Rage. They're going to get that teammate.
Dude, this is like a never-ending fight. Soul just needs to get out.
Shanghai's still in this fight.
Yeah, like Soul needs to get out of this fight. They're just wasting so much time.
They're keeping the timer ticking up as well. 70% and Fitz is getting close to an EMP. Could be a game changer, but Lee Jagon's rally is so potent at being able to stop it.
Prophet dies.
Do you think Bring Armor becoming overhealth should get overhealth on her packs again? I don't think so. I think Brig's in a fine spot right now.
Shanghai Dragons are looking prepped to win this map.
Fitz has the EMP, but he doesn't quite want to use it now to hack.
This EMP needs to be huge from Fitz, but it's going to be so hard. Oh, Gesture's already dead.
He can't move forward. He was anti-naded. He has to play back to the rest of his team to get healed, but it's not good enough. Lip chases him down. There's only 93% left in this control map right now. This is the difference maker. Bionade from afar. Is he
EMP only on the Fearless? Oh, the nano to save! Yo, great play by Izayaki.
Only connects onto Fearless and Lee J gone, but that might be enough. But the nano boost now committed. Izayaki keeping Fearless back alive. Fitz falls, diving into the backline here. Lip now almost the EMP. Gesture just trying to contest this point.
Dude, Gesture's just been permanently hacked in this game.
EMP comes out and Prophet goes down. He can't zip. He
there
can't
it is.
He will only die. He will only
Shanghai
fall.
Dragons.
The Shanghai Dragons will not be denied. They win the control map. And we are getting so close now, Josh, to a miracle truly happening.
Yeah. This is...
They have creative at this time? I believe so, yeah.
Strange thing.
But they prefer playing Budosan over creative. Creative didn't get a whole lot of game time.
They're avoiding Hollywood, where they know that they aren't very good.
Wait,
They are
what?
kicking into the Shanghai
The
Dragons,
game hasn't
where they
started,
know
so
that
they're just
Shanghai
shooting
are-
around?
So Seoul better have something prepared here. Otherwise, I think we're going to be going to that 7th match.
Well, players are messing around, horsing around.
Yeah, this is weird. We're currently in the game, but it doesn't seem like competitive was set up, so they're just playing deathmatch.
Well,
so I guess that's gonna get restarted.
2020, baby. Don't forget how scuffed 20 was.
The only
2020
major
was.
reverse sweep that I can remember anyway that happened.
Yeah, it has.
No, I
so-
think Fearless is pretty well wrapped up. The original.
Shanghai Dragon Coach? Question mark.
And although he was brought in later in the season, wasn't part of the original roster, they failed. He is able.
Alright, let's do it.
Such a rebound for this guy's career.
Lip Fearless, here we go. Sideshow looks so young, yeah,
Some
he's
of the best
aged.
players in the
He also
game
has
right
hair.
now Have had that rebound, that redemption.
Don't
arc.
worry, this is a better map for Seoul Dynasty. They'll hold on this one.
Individual
Winston
where
Somber isn't
some
as
of
good
the
on this map.
storyline has taken place, but Fearless might just be up there with him. We're about to find out, aren't we? As we
Prophet's
see.
given up. He's like, fuck it, I'm playing
Continues,
Torb.
Map 6, guys. Remember?
Such enormously different compositions being run compared to the Shanghai Dragons semi-final against New York. Shanghai are coming out here with Echo Sombra dive to try and break Torb Ash.
Was it loser
from the
pick?
Seoul
Yeah, I think it's
Dynasty.
probably
I
loser
love
pick at this
Torb
point.
Ash pick.
It's an interesting one. The Torbash is a lot of deterrence away from the dive, honestly, in itself.
Yeah.
It's interesting that they would opt to run it into this kind of composition, but
That was a great
now they
pull
built
from
up the mana
Gesture.
boost pretty early on because of all the damage. Unleashes it pretty early on
Oh,
here.
that
Fearless
was too much
looking
damage.
to
Yeah, well played.
target. Will he be denied? Not quite. He's
I
pumping
feel like
with
Seoul
so
was
much
way too
work.
stacked up for that in the
I
choke.
think Izayaki laid in
I
the
feel like they should have
Bayonetta
been
as
more
well there,
around
just
them.
for good measure.
Ash already 75,
Really
yeah.
allowed to
But
throw
here's the
this one
difference.
up.
The
Arguably,
Ash is at
Izayaki
75%, but that also means they're giving nano to the to the Ana, right? And that's, you generally don't see a lot of people farm there and try and farm their Bob that fast because you're just giving the advantage to the attacking team.
It's not over just yet, but at this rate, I don't think Seoul Dynasty can even touch.
Have we got how much Izayaki pounded this series? Yeah, it's also, I guess, the rise of
They're still gonna
Izayaki as
stick
well.
with
Like,
this Torbash composition.
Izayaki starts getting a lot more playtime over Luffy.
Total wash for them. But the comp has
Why did
a
Seoul
lot
take
of
Shanghai to
playtime.
Kings Row?
Now, Shanghai
If there's one thing that's been
have
consistent
options
throughout Seoul
to
Dynasty,
dive.
it's actually two things.
They can send people
Prophet's
on
gonna
wide
fuck for you,
flanks and deny vision. The Seoul Dynasty
and your
don't really
coaching
know
staff
that
is going to
they're
shit the
flanking
bed.
until
Those are
they're
the two
already there.
consistent
They're just
factors
getting
of the
close to
Seoul
this
Dynasty.
So there's still
That is
opportunity
always
for
going to
the
happen.
Lions
Don't
fight,
worry
even
about
though
that.
It looks like Seoul have a massive ult advantage.
Bob is available for Fitz here. The dive comes into the back line. It's a bit of a reactionary ult as they use it. Bob just getting pooped over to the side, pooped all over the bloody shop, isn't he? Look at him go. Still firing away though. God bless him. And now Fleder's on the high ground though with a duplicate.
Dude,
off onto
Seoul's getting bopped right now.
Laying down the hyperspheres. Shanghai Dragons.
They just don't really have a
rolling
solution
forwards
to this
now
like
with
dive right now.
4:20 on the clock. Counting down. They have a tremendous opportunity to really set a fantastic time now.
This is
on King's
also
Row.
around the time of the demise of the
Fitz moves over to
MYXL.
McCree,
Yeah.
tries to apply a bit more of a checking power to Fleder and Lip both. Bit better at being able to deal with the flankers, bit more versatile as well, less easy to be dived. But Lip still has this EMP. They won the previous fight without even needing it. So the
Still mad at what MYXL for it? Yeah. MYXL's in the same boat. MYXL and Seoul Dynasty are two consistent teams that have just hard out-coached themselves. They've had great talents, they just somehow they managed to fuck it up.
Toby, I believe, caught out of position, will end up falling. Now Fearless, just trying to build up as much cleave damage as possible, trying to get that primal rage. Now, I believe Izayaki did use the nano.
Dude, they just can't kill anything. Like, they just can't kill any of the Shanghai players.
1 meters. They're coming ever so closer to trying to push this over the cart. Only a couple of stragglers left.
MYXL was steadily second and third this
They
season?
are.
I
Shanghai
don't
Dragon.
think that's true. Is it? I thought they were pretty solidly like, well, in the APAC region. I thought they were pretty average throughout the season. Like, am I wrong? And that's why they blew it up? What was that regular season record? Yeah, they were 7th. Which is 3rd in the East. It was kind of like, I guess we're always comparing them to themselves of like 2018 and 2019. Like they were fine, but it was like the first, like with the amount of talent they had.
Almost a
They-
record-breaking spirit.
They should have been better.
Yes, a fantastic pace being set here for the Shanghai Dragons. They've revitalized themselves.
We did talk about the Vancouver implosion
incredibly
a little bit, but you know,
Gesture has his supercharger here.
There's not really too much to break down there.
They're getting close to a lot of key ultimates. The ult cycle has been perfectly executed here by the Shanghai Dragons. Fleder can duplicate
in terms of like
Lips getting
things that
close
you
to
should
an
already
EMP.
know.
Ooh, but that pick is huge from Prophet on the Echo.
Huge pick. Gestures. Supercharger does fall in the end. So opportunities for Shanghai to maybe make this work. Really, still. Fleder using that focusing beam, but not getting any value, falling very low. And
Dude, Fearless is just pounding. He's getting nanos on cooldown and just
I think this does favor Soul.
farming.
Their spawn is just that
EMP onto Gesture and Toby.
Play perfectly now if they want to try.
That's a good bomb. That's a great bomb.
Collected. It's going to be utilized.
Prophet on the point.
Members of the team and Shanghai Dragons.
Shanghai just rolled Soul. Soul does not have an answer to this Winston Sombra comp.
And that is going to be a 3 minutes 31 time bank on King's Row. This is the
Korean to be able in there.
This is gonna. This feels like must be the most frustrating thing for Soul. You're winning the series, you're absolutely bodying them, and then they just play this one comp, and they're just gonna play it everywhere until you find a way to beat it. And then it gets so bad that Soul's like, well, now we need to find a way to counter it ourselves.
Think about what the Soul Dynasty are thinking right now. They are so close to victory.
But like, yeah, Prophet is just not gonna be able to out echo Fleder. Oh my god.
Goodness me, man. What are you doing over there? Focusing beam straight into the back line. The damage being done, just applying it with the tri-shots. And I mean, the Soul Dynasty did not stand a chance.
Do you have to build a super roster? Would you pick 5 of the best mechanical players and 5 players with the best synergy? I think you need a mix, and I think it comes down to the players available and like the synergy that works with that, right? You need mechanically talented players, right?
And Shanghai,
but you can obviously like certain players can be played even if they're not the best mechanically, but they add other things to the element, like to the team, like synergy and leadership and etc. Right? There's no like. The problem with that is it's very hard to put a value on synergy or leadership, right? Compared to mechanical skill.
Almost immediately.
Well, I actually hit a lot more people than I thought it would.
See if he can get the most out of it as he jumps onto the high ground.
Okay, Jess, I see.
It's not going to connect onto too many targets, but it does deny.
Who would your dream DPS duo be? Right now?
2 kills for him. Primal Rage available as
well.
He wants to use it, but he's in a pretty good position right now to just take the perch. And he's created enough space.
Maybe Prophet Lip.
Team fight and ultimately cap up this first checkpoint.
Not a great impact from Prophet again
actually,
on the Echo. Only
leave Lip
of the way to that ult. But
it might be leave Lip actually.
That one forwards,
I forgot about leave. Oh, good bash.
Set things up. But it's all about
it'd be leave Lip. It would be leave Lip actually, yeah.
Good way of continuing the momentum as soon as he goes with the EMP. Lee Jae-gon, the rookie playmaker on main support, is there with the bash.
I don't believe it.
If we're just talking mechanics, it'd be leave Lip.
Getting cancelled.
Another Ana copy here.
Another opening here, as you can see.
It doesn't. Fled is just so good.
Of this initial arch, this
like, doesn't even matter who he copied because Lee Jae-gon just hard carried that by bashing the EMP.
Taking it away from Salt, removing the momentum as well by taking out the EMP from those individual plays of Lee Jae-gon. We cannot stress enough how important it is. Our Soul are left wondering, why couldn't that have just gone through?
That was a great EMP. They did get a lot of ults out though. Oh, nice.
DD does catch some to 4 members of Soul.
Soul's using so many ults to live through this. Shanghai's got to commit more ults. Yeah. Soul just used like 19 ultimates. Shanghai just needs to like use 1 or 2 to guarantee this fight win. And they did. Custa, Jimmy, best DPS lineup. That's true.
Which allows the Shanghai Dragons to just
leave Shy. Shy, no. You can't. Leave Shy doesn't make as much sense because Shy is very hit scan orientated. But does Shy have a good Sombra?
Does a little bit, but the Shanghai Dragons have been in control the entire time.
Like, we know Shy can play Echo, we know he can play Tracer, but not to the level of Lip. I would pick Lip over Shy. I think Shy is a better hit scan, probably, than Lip, but I like the flexibility of Lip. Same reason I like Leave so much. His Echo is good, yeah. His Echo is good, yeah, for sure. But you have Leap.
Okay,
Why do you need why do you need Shy to play
Void
Echo?
tried to remake. I mean, it feels like okay. Shanghai have been in control of this everlasting.
It's Chinese,
fight,
yeah. Obviously,
but
like
Seoul
the
are going to be
Chinese
the winners
like
in the long haul
combination,
because
but
they
yeah.
are closer to the spawn. Their spawn is way closer to that car. It means they can take.
Shy
more
Ashes,
frequent,
yeah.
more
Well, Shy
prolonged
hit
team
scan is
fights
just incredible,
and an
right?
advantage to them.
Yeah,
Now
that's
you can
definitely
see
true.
Seoul Dynasty are in a good position in terms of their ultimates as well because they've got an EMP and a Primal Rage coming up here, which means Shanghai.
Wow, that
have
was
to
a
play
great
aggressively.
Primal.
This is why Fearless is right up in their grill. The Primal Rage being utilized perfectly. He set up the position.
That was clean by
juggling.
Fearless.
It's a little bit hard to watch here, but Bedosen finally does.
Shy
go
out
down.
Arcade, yeah. As I said, as I
Great play
said,
from Fearless. Fantastic.
things
That's exactly
change,
the kind of
but if we
playmaking
have to
you
say,
need from
if I was
Winston.
putting
That's
together
why
a
he's
team
been
at the end of
called in on the
2021
stand
with the information
to
that we
lead the
have,
charge in this reverse
I would
sweep.
choose
And my
Lip
God,
Leaf.
what a job he's doing
Those
so
are the
far.
players I would pick.
Seoul Dynasty still have a lot of ultimates to work with here. They should.
It's literally the MVP and the runner-up MVP, so it's like not even a hot take to say those two, right? Like,
and Fitz is going to go for another one.
and they synergize very well with their hero pools, so I think.
Fitz out of his EMP again. This would be a game changer.
Oh shit! The EMP catches Lips, cancels Lips EMP.
EMP
Fitz
comes
EMP.
out! Oh, Lip got case cancelled. Lip tried to
That's
use
such a
his
big
EMP
deal.
preemptively,
That's just
but
a
Fitz used
fight-winning
his first,
moment.
cancelled it. Great opening for Seoul. That is exactly what they wanted to try and make this work, try and make this happen. Shanghai, they back
Leave
off.
Lip might be unbeatable.
Well,
Well, like, I think Seoul Dynasty is a great example of you need a team around you. Like, you can have the great DPS duo in the game, you need a solid team around you to just fight. And that's what makes Shanghai so good. Is they literally have like top 1 to 2 players in every single role.
Towards the finish line.
They are pushing this one in deep. Gesture getting weak.
Is the auto cast not synced? No. And
And
it's very, very delayed in this VOD.
And Fearless was just there, just a sitting duck waiting to be feasted upon. Great
Retake
stagger
now.
kill.
Deleve and Prophet hero pool synergize. They play very similar heroes. Like, but both of them are very, very flexible. But I would say my biggest problem would be you would need one of them to pick up a heavy hit scan roll, and I don't like either of their hit scans that much. Both of them can play hit scan, but I would rather have a Lip
This gesture is going to be
on the hit scan, right?
disabled during his Primal Rage, but now we see a self-destruct. A bomb initiation just misses the mark. Doesn't
Another
catch
great
him in a
EMP
little
by
cubby.
Fitz.
But now
Fitz is a
Shanghai
problem
looking to
right
try
now.
and take advantage of the fact that Seoul's positioning was pushed too far forward, but it's Seoul who are
Good
the ones
diva
who are
bomb.
biting back. But Dosen brings down Fearless. No more main tanks. Self-destruct going to be utilized.
This is such an important rally by Lee Jae Gon. I think if he doesn't get that rally,
Duplicate's going to be used.
they
Prophet
lose.
wants to try
Oh
and
my
build
god,
up an
Prophet
EMP of
gets.
his
Oh,
own.
that was.
He's
I
finally
thought it was
got it.
another
This might
Fitz
just
EMP.
be
I was like,
hurt
holy
now.
shit.
But
But
his
Prophet just
defense
copied
connects
some.
onto a multitude
Dude, there's
of
so many
targets.
EMPs.
It'll be a miracle if Shanghai are able to retake this one. It's going to take so much, but that EMP might have just turned this one into their favor. Fearless now with his own Primal Rage. I cannot believe how this team fight is
There's so
occurring
many
right now.
ultimates going on.
It is chaos. It is
Alright, here it is,
before
chat.
our
Are you
very
ready for
eyes.
it?
Prophet now desperate to try and focus and turn this fight around. Gesture with the Primal Rage. He has found an opening pick onto Lee Jae Gong. It might be enough, but Lip wants to shut this one down. Wants some for all. Fearless hunting for targets. He looks like a lost schoolboy in the field being bullied for his shorts. But Fleder now moving over onto the Widowmaker, taking the clutch into his own hands. The headshot after headshot after headshot. I do not believe what we have just witnessed. The Shanghai Dragons are elite.
Oh my god, what was that from Fleder? He just
That
hops
was
into
nice.
the spawn, whips onto the Widowmaker and pops out
The
forward.
sad reality is that, like, obviously it's not synced up at the time, but they sync it up later. It is worth noting, as I said, that 2 of the people were resetting, but it was still a great switch, and he did turn the fight. That first kill onto Toby,
Shots,
and then
you're
the
not
second
allowed to
shot,
do
like,
that.
sealed the deal.
That's
But yeah, those
clutch
last 2
with
cleans,
consistency.
it was.
That's bonkers.
Woo.
And they still have
People
EMPs
forget
on
how
the
good of a
board.
hit
This
scan
is
player
still a
Fleder
fight
is.
that teams can take.
And they look like they want to take an aggressive fight.
Solo EMP
Spotting the
Toby,
positioning.
because
He
fuck
has
you, I
EMP,
guess.
But so does Fitz. Shield Bash missions. That is a critical error. Toby went for it, but Soul are not out yet. They go for the counter EMP. It's an even fight as of yet. Prophet, he's gonna clutch this one up. Gesture leapt into the fray. He's in the back line. He's causing damage. He's causing disrepair. And Prophet has switched over
Oh,
to the
Marvel, bro. This is Soul's problem. This is Soul's problem right there.
He's causing damage. He's causing
Look at Marvel, by the way, if you didn't see it. Void throws the Diva Bomb up. Here's Marvel.
disrepair. And Prophet has
He
switched over to
throws
the
his
Brigitte.
Diva
He
Bomb
built up
as
the
it's
rally.
blowing
His team
up.
have armor to work with. Surely Shanghai are going to clutch this one. Marvel goes down. He sent in his own bomb, and whilst he was doing it, he was vulnerable. He was afraid. He was alone, and he will fall. I cannot believe what we are witnessing right now. Just
Cost them that. They might not have won regardless. Like, it's you can't say that was just the reason, but
Dragons are evening out this series.
What on?
This series concluded here today.
oof.
Shanghai Dragons
Final
one
map
step away from one of the most
of the
absurd
series.
turnarounds
Shanghai
in
is going to go
esports.
to. This is how much Shanghai is in the moment of just being like, we're going to play this until they solve a problem. We're going to play Junkertown, and they're like, let's play Winston Sombra.
Seoul Dynasty, one map away from closing it down, from shutting down the hopes and dreams of Shanghai, from performing, let's say it reasonably here, the upset, because that's what we all thought coming into this series.
And look at this from Shanghai. They start on Junkertown.
Why no Fitz Widow? You don't want to play Widow against
the
Sombra.
defensive
Widow
dive
against Sombra is
composition.
such an
This is
awful
not
thing.
normal.
Because there's
People
Sombra just
normally run double
uncloaks
shields,
under
they
behind you
normally
and you're just in
echo on a
trouble.
Widowmaker. They do not run
He just
dive.
knows that
This
they're gonna
map
play
is
dive.
far too open to play
The
dive,
Trob.
so
The
conventional
Fitz
wisdom
Trob.
goes.
I respect
Shanghai are
it.
looking to prove everybody
Plays
wrong.
on defense, yeah.
Prophet
I
is
can
also
see it
gonna be
being
trying
played
to
on
play
defense a
the
little bit.
Traces.
Attack
Going back
less
over
so.
to his comfort role here. See if he can set up any plays. He's hunting for Fleder. Fleder, of course, keeping his cooldown. He zips away, but Lip almost dead. Lip had to back off for heals right in this corner. Now, Shanghai have got to try and contest this at least before the cart moves a little bit further forward here. They've got to find an opening as well, but this turret is causing Fleder a bit of issues. He can't take these off angles like he wants to.
Oh, Fitz down.
Turret peppering him away from the back line. Now we see the focusing beam being used. Fitz gonna get burned
Dude,
down.
it's so
broken.
decent.
And now they've just got to clean up
Oh
the
my,
last
Fleder,
remaining
stop
players
it.
here. Big Bionade onto
Oh,
couple
did
of
he kill
members here
Prophet?
of
Oh
Soul.
my.
And that
He's
focus
so
being
good.
so potent.
Torbjorn is so bad, yeah.
It really is.
I
It
feel like if you're
shreds
playing
the
against Echo
tanks
Sombra,
of Soul
Torb is not that
Dynasty
good.
and
It
Fitz as
feels
well.
like it's a good
He's
idea.
not normally a
He'd
very
be better off
diveable
playing
target,
a Cassidy,
but
right?
when
Like,
he's under
why doesn't he just play
15% of
Cass?
his HP, he will melt
Cass
if
is
he
pretty
goes
good
to
against the
a kill
Sombra.
with
It
Fleder.
deals with the Echo. It's pretty good against
Normally,
Winston. Like, I like
you
Cass
have
way
Soul
more than the
Dynasty
Torbjorn.
on some kind of long-range hit scan.
Or even
The
Ash.
the
I think
Widowmaker,
Ash can just be a
to
problem.
be able to put pressure on these dive tanks for them to overextend. But instead, they're playing short range with Prophet and Fitz. So Fearless can just play close. They can play close
Fitz is
range
literally
with-
just
with
feeding.
everybody. They can play close range dive. This is mental.
Yeah, dive attempt is
Fleder.
there, and I say attempt,
Bro,
it's a success
calm.
in my books. They get the
Doesn't
opening
Flat have a
pick
skin?
off
Yeah, well,
Fleder.
he wins MVP of this
Demolish
season,
it,
and
the sticky
he
bombs
made
are
an
focused
Echo
on
skin
being
because of
so
these
much
dominant
damage in those close
Echo
quarters.
performances.
What can you realistically expect? And they want to go for Prophet as well, trying to burn him down. Gonna get their wee little legs out of there. As they
Sadly,
run
the last
way back.
MVP skin.
They
Yeah.
need to run Fitz on an Ash or something like that. Because
Fitz has
if they
50%
don't
ult charge.
play with somebody far back,
Why does no one talk about
Fearless
this? Fitz has a 50% ult charge, 2
is
minutes,
never
20
gonna have to
seconds into a
overextend.
round.
You can just play the payload. You cannot allow.
Oh, good
the
copy.
dive
Even
of
though it's on the
Shanghai
Orisa,
Dragons
that's
to
not
just play
bad.
payload.
Honestly, Orisa copy isn't the worst thing in the world
Fleder's weak.
because
He
it's
has
not
to
worth
use
killing him.
duplicate here, so he moves
And that
over to
Kajak
the
supercharge
Orisa
is
for the
super
higher
valuable.
HP, but he's just peppering them from behind. No one is checking him. He lands down a supercharger. This is disastrous now for Soul, despite the fact that they get the opening pick off. Immortality Field forced out, and the supercharger forces out a couple of the cooldowns.
The
as
Torbjorn
well.
ult.
Now
Finally,
Fearless
the
with
moist
primal rage.
splooge.
They're going to try and find an opening here, but Soul are now utilizing every ultimate at their disposal.
Alright,
to win
fine.
this
They get
one.
through there eventually with all
Finally,
their
they get a pick
ultimates.
off onto Fearless, and they get a second DMAC as well. It looks like Soul are going to be justified in their expenditure. They are able to walk away with at least this 8-point capture.
Just
for the
go
time being.
bashing. Ah, good
We've
thinking.
seen teams do the impossible throughout this.
What happened to
throughout
Lip
this
CMP?
tournament
Did he
so
just
far.
not have it for that
But
fight?
when Marvel gets the opening pick with his Gravitic Flux onto Izzyaki and the Ana, the main heals, are removed from the Shanghai Dragons, that ends up being insurmountable.
Yeah, I think Leave actually I said he would have got a Widow skin.
They would love to EMP the Soul Dynasty, dive them, and reset.
Is Orisa your favorite underrated Echo ult?
So powerful to be able to.
Keep hitting some very nice shots there onto the
Yeah,
flank,
maybe.
just keeping Prophet in check, making sure he can't get away with murder. And Shanghai have ults to work with.
Like, Orisa Supercharge is good.
He
Like,
is ready,
the
but-
thing that makes Diva so valuable as an Echo Switch is it's not
Position's really
worth
taken
spending
advantage of it. This is
600
good
damage
aggression
or
coming
even
out from
more
Soul now.
onto the Diva because
Let's
she has
use the
Matrix. So
EMP.
almost
Three
no one can
targets were the ones
justify
who are gonna be
shooting you.
disabled now, unable
Oh,
to
Lee
use
Jae
their
Gun just got pulled out of the
abilities.
window.
Fearless bashed up, has to
Maybe it's
leap
kind of a
away
good
to
copy.
safety.
It's kind of good
Prophet's
because you
still
can just
causing
go
havoc
into
in the back
block
line as
and
he
then get a lot of
takes
your
out
ult
Lee Jae
charge,
Gun.
but you can still just lose it. Not Tracer. Tracer's biggest problem is that you can just get knocked out of Tracer. Copy. Like Tracer is kind of cool because you can get a lot of pulse bombs, but you can also just get changed to Tracer and then just instantly get flipped out of it, right?
He just kind of plays his own game and makes it look stylish at the same time.
He definitely does. Look at Lip.
Zen copy Pog. Zen copy is very much not Pog.
To ping pong onto this.
This is getting a much more value out of this Torbjorn now.
Opportunity for Shanghai to recontest, but with Fleta going down and that on-core all over the place. There's just no way, surely, that Shanghai can get into this.
Here we go, Sol.
Well, I mean, he's just flexing them at this point. The team fight's already won, but why not just unload the pulse bomb? Take out Izayaki. You know, add a couple of more clips for the frag reel.
Moira copy. Moira copy's kind of, it can be good, but it can also be meh. Because you need to hope you get your coal fast, because you need to get the full duration of the coal. Right? And if your team isn't super low, then you don't need the
healing. I've got to give credit a little bit now to Seoul Dynasty for not crumbling.
The white coom is too real.
A lot of teams, after losing this many maps in a row, when
Diva Winston are definitely the two best targets.
At this point, and it feels like the Seoul Dynasty are battling back. They are giving us a series worthy of calling a grand finals.
Absolutely. Looking to engage now, Marvel with the gravitic.
Fearless is just so much disruption from Fearless.
Shanghai Dragons have pushed.
How does he even know what's going on? I don't even know where I am.
Tiny little corridor, and the damage is insurmountable. Shanghai Dragons come away with a very
Poppies are supporting. Someone told Fleta that copying a support was the best play. Someone had to have told him, like, been like, you should copy supports all the time. There's no way he's just doing it out of his.
What do you think?
I mean, it's a gorilla, isn't it? Of course, it's going to be painful. They could rip your limb from limb, Brennan.
People keep making that argument, right? How many gorillas would it take for Shaquille O'Neal to go down? But I mean, gorillas are kind of brutal, man. I feel like one gorilla could take on 4 Shaqs. You know what I mean?
Easily.
I'm gonna miss Brett and Josh. I'm gonna miss them.
Regardless, not a conversation for the final map of the grand finals.
One of my favorite moments is 2021 is still the mythology break.
Now in this team fight onto Lip, taking him out. That's no more EMP for this fight. Cretion not going to be finding a mark, but Soul have been given a lot of space off the back of that pickoff. All eyes on Lip to try and get some value out of this EMP. It's their win condition. He needs to get something done here. The EMP is used, connects onto a couple of targets. Marvel gets instantly deleted. Taken off the map, taken out of the fight. Great opening start.
Oh, Fleta kind of trolled that.
Shanghai Dragons. That turret is, again, a bit of a nuisance
Soul
here,
are rolling.
and it has caused a bit of damage, a little bit too much now. This wonderful pickoffs.
How does that kill Bedosin?
Too much now.
That should have saved Bedosin, I feel like.
Wonderful pickoffs for the Seoul Dynasty. They found so many openings. Void might be able to turn this one with the bomb.
Is anyone going to be able to touch? I don't think anyone's going to be able to touch. Oh!
The card is only a few short moments
Lip got there. Oh, the flux was bad. Can they get the nano out? If they get the nano on the Winston, it's good. Oh, he nanoed Lee J gone. That's less good. But Lee J gone diff? He's going to get the rally. No! Oh my god, I'm so sad for Soul. That's such a sad series of events.
I don't want to call it curtains just yet.
Oh my god.
Extending just to a degree.
That's so tragic.
It looks like Seoul Dynasty have decided
that's a lot of coom on the cart.
They're going to regroup and re-push this one. Molten Core.
Yeah, okay, they have the ults coming back.
No one can really touch this card. Legion falling. The burning, the DPS, the damage, a little bit too much, and Seoul Dynasty are going to get that capture with 26 seconds remaining.
A very good offense, honestly, from the Seoul Dynasty, and started at
but Blinks, still, with that being said, Prophet does make Tracer look like a meta pick.
He definitely does. He's so individually skilled on it. He was one of the major reasons that Seoul went up 3-0 in this series to begin with as well.
Lip Widow?
A huge player.
Alright, they've accepted that they can't play Winston Sombra on this map.
This final map. But the Fitz versus Lip Widowmaker duel. Both of these guys have proven themselves to be really excellent Widowmakers in previous matches. And now we get to see the head-to-head. They're not as well known, perhaps, as some of the other players on their teams. Everyone knows the Fleta Widowmaker. Everyone knows DM. But Fitz and Lip are the players
Fleta on May?
Who have the trust of their teams, the trust of their coaches to pick up this hero
Whoa!
Town, the classic Widowmaker.
For that play,
Look at how patient both of these Widowmaker players.
Hello.
Okay, well, see you later.
Town, the classic teams, the trust of their coaches, to pick up this hero.
I don't know why I find that so funny. Just whoop.
And look at how patient both of these Widowmaker players are.
Hello.
Okay, well, see you later there. All right, Fleder gets sent forward. He had to actually...
Was that a run boost?
exit
If
out
you
of his
start
ice
getting,
block because
it's the same way
he was
if you
worried
start
he
getting
was
pulled
gonna
at a
get
wrist
caught out
and
of
then you
position.
fortify, it like breaks the pull, but you keep
Disjointed
the momentum.
from Holt there, if you're wondering how he got sent so far
Shanghai's
forward.
exact comp wasn't very good in
Now it's the
APAC,
battle
yeah.
of the Widowmakers, and
I
what
think
we've
they
seen with
liked the
Jump
Mei
Time
to be
is
able to like
actually Widowmakers
wall
avoid
people
the
off so
fight
that the
up
double
front.
shield could
They wanna
walk at
try
you
and set
better.
up their teams for success.
Mei's actually pretty good against
Playing
Tracer as
odd
well.
angles, funny positionings, and Prophet going down to Fleder.
Ooh.
It's a good start for the attacking Shanghai Dragons. But
That
look at
was
Fitz
better.
again, this is
Okay,
what I'm talking
that
about.
was better than
Fitz
Lip's
goes, Fitz,
play.
Are you kidding me? The 3K.
That was better than
Mizuyaki,
Fleder's
he had to
4K.
shut him
That
down, and
was
Josh,
actually
I just
nutty.
screamed so much that the blood has rushed from my head and I almost fainted.
That's ridiculous. We normally see the defensive
Oh,
Widowmaker
damn,
not
that
take
was-
any angles, take
that was
zero
crazy,
risks,
actually.
and instead
That's a
Fitz
really hard-
rips
those
up the
3 shots are
playbook. He
all
goes
very
for a
difficult
flank,
as well.
And he hits
a
every
carpe
shot,
flank,
man.
yeah.
How is he able to do this? That
Flashback
should
to it.
not work. You should
More
be able
impressive
to
and
get
more
1
impactful,
out of
yeah.
3 of
Oh!
those kills.
That was so quick.
I can't believe what we just witnessed. That was Shanghai Dragons. Oh, Fitz, are you... Okay, all right, calm it down. Calm it down.
Fitz got
That's
Lee Jake on as well.
Fitz
Oh
is
my
unstoppable.
god.
This is outrageous.
I
Look
forgot
at him,
about
he's
it.
on flank. Dude, he's feeling himself. This is what
Who was the
Widowmakers
guy
do.
who
There's
said
a
that
feeling
Prophet
when
was
you
the
get
only
into the
person?
zone. Basketball players
This
describe
is
it.
why
Sports
Fitz gets
players describe
appreciation.
It happens in video games as well. I think this is what we're witnessing right now is Fitz. He's in the flow state. The only thing on his mind is hitting heads, and it's
Stop
working
this
for
man.
him. This is just one of the most absurd performances I've seen, one of the most absurd series I've seen. And when Fitz is playing like this, Lip, I just feel sorry for him because it's like trying
Someone
to
say
shut
Fitz
down
from Soul
a
mode.
monster.
This is the year where Fitz's soul is going to save Soul from itself. Let's hope that Soul is good for the first time in ever. Or well, not even good, consistent.
Seconds left.
Oh,
Ridiculous.
Fitz.
Soul are so close now. Ever so close to shutting down this reverse sweep. Fitz shooting these targets like they're nothing. And
He makes it look so easy.
It's so hard.
Still on
right
Mei,
now.
by
A
the way.
minute on
Here
the
we
clock.
go.
It's all Shanghai have got to work with. A Blizzard, a Gravitic Flux, a Transcendence, maybe the wall hacks, but look on the other side of Soul. They're almost matching them ultimate for ultimate, but finally.
Lip gets Fitz,
an opening
finally.
Pickoff. Lip gets the better end of Fitz. And that is going to mean it's Infoside time.
Infoside time.
For an opportunity to hit a head or two.
Oh, good
See the
flux.
ultimate
That
side
flux
pull
was
out
so
now.
smart.
Fleder uses
That
the
timing
Blizzard.
was so
It's
good.
gonna force the Transcendence out of Gravitic Flux. Great timing from that one. Shanghai Dragons. It's an overwhelming team fight win.
That was a lot of
They use
ults
their
that
ultimates in
Shanghai
a
just
great
pressed.
order. And Fitz, he's the last one left, but realistically, there's not much he's going to be able to do here.
What a hero play from Lip. He only needs to find 1 kill. And yeah, for all of the fancy work that Fitz did in those opening
Are they going to
4
switch? Yeah, they're going to go Winston, right?
only
Yeah.
takes one
This is a
mistake,
smart.
and
I
Lip
really
finds
like
him,
this switch by
hits the
Shanghai as
head,
well.
and
It's
opens up
such a
his team
smart
for a
switch.
point
They
eight
just
capture.
blew everything that they had on
Shanghai
ults.
Dragons, they must have
And
been
this is such a
sweating
hard
there,
point to
but a
try and
rookie
double shield
player Lip
through.
comes up with the goods when it matters.
And
Don't ever sub him out
Bedosen's
again.
now on Zen. So Bedosen's caught out, like left out to dry
Great
here
highlight
right now.
Again, Lip is a rookie player, a candidate for Rookie of the Year. Fitz has noticed that his Venom Mine was triggered there by Lip. Lip's still there, still present, falling very, very low. Okay, just got out on 1 HP. Okay. But now an opportunity for Fleder to flex what he can do on the Tracer. We've seen what Prophet's been doing this entire series.
good pulse by
Fleder's
Prophet.
time to go in, goes for the 1 clip, but
Catches
recalls back.
Fearless.
Now the pulse bomb from Prophet, he connects it onto Fearless. Fearless will fall, no more main tank. Dangerous scenario for Shanghai to keep pushing this one in, but
Ooh,
it's
okay.
2 minutes, so...
Who's the rookie of the year? Season 3? Alarm.
Rethink how they want to try and take this one. Fitz, though. Okay, alright.
How does that happen? I mean, who knows, but it seemed like he was caught by the Venom Mine and trying to duel him. Lip is
Cuz, can you
really
explain
not
how Lip
gaining
charges
much
ult so
charge.
damn
He might
fast?
have
I think I
one
understand the
HP
aggro and doing
by
damage.
the
How does he
time
pull it
this
off?
time ticks.
If you go into the replay view, I don't even know if the replay view still exists. Watch Lip's aim. I think Lip has the best tracking in Overwatch. His tracking is insanely good. It's so clean, so crisp. And that's really one of the big reasons. Obviously, he's smart. He understands when to go in, when to shoot, who to farm off of. But his tracking is the one thing that I think puts him head and shoulders above everyone else.
hasn't done a great job of being able to.
Where can you find his pod? You might be able to find some of it. If you type 2021 Lip Shanghai Dragon Sombra, you might be able to find a VOD.
So well so far for the Shanghai Dragons since they swapped over. Looking to take out Fitz very early on this.
Like on YouTube.
And
You might find something.
Finds the kill. Opening pick on the Widowmaker.
It's a beautiful opening pick because now no one has to worry about these sightlines. They can play full-on aggression, and it was a wonderful coordinated play by Shanghai. They capitalize off of it straight away. Lip was able to force out a positioning from Fitz. He takes him out almost instantly.
Last time I checked,
okay, that's my
interesting.
time to dive. And
I haven't looked at the replay view in a while.
Remove them almost immediately, and that's going to cause Seoul to make some changes. They have an opportunity to recontest this now. Shanghai with 50
Let's got the EMP.
They want to close out this point.
Good
The
EMP.
changes, as you said. Fitz moving over to the
Like it's a good EMP. Oh, Gesture dies through through Transcendence.
Yes, the Bedosian Transcendence is there, but Gesture got purpled in the middle
Who
of
did
it.
Nano? Oh, it was on field. It was on field.
Fearless! But this is still turnable for the Seoul Dynasty.
Still turnable, and that's going to force.
Not if Fearless has anything to say about it.
He's got to come up big with this. He's got to come up clutch. He's battering them away. 2 kills for him, forcing the positioning.
Woo.
Can he find a third? It's absolute magic. And Shanghai Dragons are going to be able to cap up this checkpoint B.
Lip Sombra is the best.
1 minute
I think
40
Lip Sombra is the
seconds.
best in the world right now. In
He's coming
I think in
alive right
2020,
now,
I think I liked Fitz Sombra better.
Tracer 1v1
But in
occurring
2021,
as well.
Lip
It's
fixed
not
his
just a
EMP
battle of the
problems,
Widowmakers
got his
on
consistency
Junkertown,
down,
it's a
and
battle of the
yeah.
Tracers as well. Could not think of a better stage to see the finale being played out.
Let's take a look at this replay as well. Just Fearless with his primal rage was able to turn this fight so well.
On a bunch of Lip Sombra pods, the comments just talks about how he shoots tanks and gets rewarded. It's sad because he's so much better than that. Damn, you saying that YouTube commenters don't appreciate and respect how good some of these players are? Man, that's crazy. I can't imagine YouTube commenters being so uninformed and so stupid. That's news to me. That's news to me. Why doesn't everyone else just shoot tanks though and get rewarded for it?
Gets into the back. Great technique. This is the guy that came in and
If you're watching this video, please make sure to like and subscribe to this video. Also, leave me a comment on my channel, on my video. What did you guys think about this match? Obviously, a banger best of 7. Let me know. And more history of Overwatch is coming.
and has led this reverse sweep charge for the Shanghai Dragons, and he's deep in the middle of the next fight as well, taking out profit for an opening pick.
Oh
leave
a
comment about how Lip shoots tanks or something, I guess. Avril makes a great point.
Takes out not only Gesture, but also the Supercharger. Maximum value. And now, a minute remaining, they're moving forward. Shanghai Dragons are trying to set a similar time to Seoul Dynasty. I cannot believe how much this series is going to the distance right now.
Rally.
You're getting into potentially final fight territory for the Shanghai Dragons. They got to try and make this work now.
Oh, Diva Bomb EMP! That bomb was so bad. That was such a good EMP, and the bomb was so bad.
The EMP comes out to self-destruct as well, laid down. It's going to remove a lot of the turrets, a little bit of the extra factors, the variables in this fight. Now the Molten Core laid down. No one can really touch the point here, and Fearless will fall. Void now has to force the positioning back, only 20 seconds remaining. This is a team fight loss, and I think they realize it, but Shanghai didn't even have the opportunity to recontest this, Josh. Could we see the series end here?
Here we go.
No, there's absolutely no way, Brennan. Lip is in a position where he's got to be able to touch the payload. Fledder as well if he really needed to. They've got a nano
like Marvel needs to get a crazy ass bomb, and Bedosin needs to get rally value.
The flux from Marvel, but it is still technically winnable for Shanghai.
Lip moves
Profit
in.
die. I like Fledder sticking Bedosin is crazy. Like the importance of that is like can't be said. And obviously Lip killing Profit, but
he has to go sicko mode. He has to go clutch. And Shanghai Dragons, they might just be doing it. Fearless, he's doing it. He's creating the space for his team. Lip and Fledder are turning up when it matters most.
Woo.
They get the opening picks, and what a turnaround! Coordination.
Back into the just beat.
I know bombing straight forward is better than bombing up. Depends on the situation. There's a lot of the reality is bombing diagonal is the best. You should never just throw it straight up because it allows them to know where they can hide behind. Throwing it diagonally is definitely play. Throwing it horizontally is good, but it can be CC'd quite easily, and it also is a very obvious trajectory.
Charger did this to Seoul earlier today. It worked out well. We'll see now, though. You can see Soul just waiting patiently in the corner.
Brawl to hold the spawn. Spicy by Soul.
Lee Jae-gon goes down immediately to freeze up onto.
I like this play. I like this call. The problem with this is it could go terribly wrong.
And that is brutal. You might not think these seconds
If they
really
lose
matter,
the fight and they start getting snowballed on,
straight away.
But are you good?
Yeah, one team fight down, but the Shanghai Dragons are in their spawn and they have opportunities to. What on earth was that from Fleder? He was just hoping that he would be able to get out.
That's my MVP.
Get a flank angle to be able to set up a dive for the future, but he can't. He gets abused, and Lip's Translocator is forced as well. This setup does not go well for the Shanghai Dragons here.
It's not indeed. I've almost wanted them to switch over to a mirror comp just to match them in the mirror, but Lip now forced backwards as well. But they get the opening pick onto Fitz. That's a big one. They need to contest this a little bit more.
See, here's the problem with the strategy the soldiers did, right? Actually, here's why. Okay, I think on paper, this play by Seoul Dynasty is really smart, right? You spawn hold, you can hopefully hold them really close, and then you get an ult cycle later. The reason I think this is a bad call is because you know Shanghai is going to play Sombra, and they're going to have to run at them as 6 people because this is what their comp does against an EMP.
The overtime spawns are very slow. You can see how slowly
Lip can just end this game.
It almost seems like forever.
Oh, he kind of needed to get that EMP.
Soul are getting close to ultimates, but Lip's going to have an EMP as well. If they can use this EMP or this Nano Boost aggressively and wipe the Soul Dynasty again, this is going to be a huge push.
It has to be picture perfect.
Ooh, nice. Nice juggle on a Fitz. Yeah, you use the coal and you just get EMP. Yeah. And they're going to use ults to try.
EMP from Lip comes out. Huge amounts of damage, but they need to keep touching this card. You can see Fearless is just chucking his body at it. He does not want to get pushed away from the overtime. They do not want to C9 again. And they will not have that worry.
Their entire team is just sitting on the point now. That's such a good EMP. It was such a good EMP.
Shanghai Dragons, they played that one
Why are
well.
casting so delayed? It's just the tech issues of 2020. Like, remember, these guys are casting at 3 a.m. from Los Angeles, a game that is being broadcasted out of Korea.
1 minute on the clock. But the Shanghai Dragons want to push it as far as they possibly can forwards. Seoul Dynasty are going to have double.
Why are they fighting this? This is such a big... No! Like, this is such a bad play. Like, they lose all the advantage by jumping down so early. Like, look at how spread Shanghai is. Like, they just beat Bongo and then just hope everyone dies?
Early on, Soul are taking this rough angle right round the corner. Sound barrier also going to be utilized, but have they realistically got anything?
Oh, that's a good flux, though.
Using the duplicate over onto the Sigma pretty much earlier into this fight.
Oh no, dude! Soul is throwing.
It's going to be used here by Shanghai, sends them up, but the duplicate
like all they have to do is if they just fight this fight here. If they just fight this fight here, they have a massive advantage. But because they jump out the window, I think they just got nervous. And now they have to fight another EMP. Fitz is on Torb, Marvel's on Ryan, Fitz is on Reaper.
Despite the fact that they were in subpar positioning, they had to stay close to the cart. They had to stay glued to it. They win the team fight.
Oh, this is terrible now for the Seoul Dynasty. They can see their championship slipping away from them.
Ryan on Junkertown, my favorite pick. Yeah, Bedosa's just gonna get EMP'd. Like 100% of the time, the Sombra just gonna, the Mori's just gonna get EMP'd.
EMP utilized now. Lip gonna be layering it down onto all of them. Fleder from on high. The focusing beam evaporates Prophet, takes him out of the fight. Shanghai Dragons, as you said, Josh, they
threw that fight. That was such a bad fight to go for.
Looking like an impossible run of things. Think about how much time this overtime.
Oh, also I missed a couple things. Hot take: Fitz is one of the best hit scans in Overwatch.
The spawn door for Shanghai.
I don't agree with that.
Spawns are just so
I think he's a great flexible player, but he's not the best hit scan. The chatty thing for the prime sub as well.
They want to be contested repeatedly, but the overtime spawns are so painfully slow.
Like now Lee Jae-gon has rally. Just rally, bro.
This next fight.
Oh, Lip gets pinned?
Despite the fact that Prophet has Blizzard. Soul must win here.
The pin from Marble.
How does...
The pin from Marble onto Lip from downtown.
Must win.
Why does he even... Does he get slept? Why does...
They still have a rally and double support ult here, the Shanghai Dragons.
Why does Marvel even attempt to pin Lip here? That's so ridiculous. That's such a stupid play that just works.
Prophet has Blizzard. Soul must
L plus ratio plus Marvel fucks.
The pin from Marble onto Lip from downtown. It knocks him out.
Oh my
And
god.
that is such a high-risk play, but it may have just paid dividends. The overtime burning for them, but Blizzard locks him up. The supercharger as well provides the damage boost necessary. It overlaps onto everything that Soul have struck.
Sure, Marvel, whatever you say.
Dragons with only a couple of players remaining. They will not hold
You
for
tape
much
shit
longer.
down, he was just
Fearless
waiting
with the
for
shield
it.
Up. Not for much longer though. Overtime finally going to be stopped in their tracks. And the Shanghai Dragons, despite the fact that they got 5 points there.
High risk play means that was fucking stupid, but it worked. Absolutely.
Perfectly.
All right, well, how do they get this? How do they get this far?
They only have to delay and build ultimates.
Yeah, Shanghai just needs to not drop the spaghetti. They just need to not make the same mistake. Just build up a bunch of ults and then blow them all at once.
Bank on that.
That might be the best play as well with the overtime spawners, but obviously not in effect just yet.
Overwatch movements once and said, I can do better.
To go up 3 maps in this series
True.
and have it slip away from them in overtime in this manner, it would be unthinkable. Profit and Fitz just gathering their energy to try and tug this one back.
Oh my god, that does so much damage to Toby.
If Soul able to do
God,
this,
Rally is that armor is so crazy.
Like I've never seen before from any team, but Shanghai, they're going for it. They do not want to be stopped. They do not want to be held.
Oh
here.
god.
Trying
Void's
to go
dead.
for this push attack now, trying to put the pressure into Profit on the Reaper now. Void almost demech.
Oh wow, that timing by Toby was sick.
The corner,
I don't know if he realizes how close he was to dying. Oh, Marvel just dropped his shield. Oh, Marvel, you
what
bot.
now? Marvel battered back. Is so low, and the sticky bomb takes him down. The opening pick that might have just sealed it for them, the EMP from Lip. It connects onto 3 targets. Shanghai Dragons. They found so many pickups off the back of it. The rally now
Like even if Soul wins this fight, they have no ultimates after it, right?
Molten Core going to be laid down just to try and keep the players away.
I'm surprised Shanghai is committing. This could have been a counter throw. Nano fearless. Izzyaki, please Nano fearless. Please Nano fearless. Please Nano fearless. Just, oh my god, Izzyaki, where are you?
Moving over to the Tourbillon, but he was not able to get his ultimate off in time.
Oh, Flatter.
The blade, or not the blade, I should say the beam. It burns them down. It burns them down indeed, Josh. The overtime, is it not enough?
There it is.
Whatsoever. The Shanghai Dragons have done it. I cannot believe.
Dude, look how scuffed this camera is. We got like 360p.
That's incredible.
Woo.
Unbelievable scenes. And the Shanghai Dragons,
that was a
on their feet.
crazy match.
They can't believe what they've just accomplished. They should be so proud.
Some 160p, dude.
To keep themselves in that match is just absurd.
Yeah.
And Fearless lead.
Woo! Flatter is the matter. Using the 140 earnings, yeah. That was a great match. There was spaghetti dropped all over the place, but there was some popping off. I think that's probably the craziest reverse sweep that ever happened. Because, like, Shanghai were getting bopped in those first 3 maps. It was not close. It really wasn't. It looked like Shanghai was just going to fall over. That was like, that's really the beginning of the Shanghai Dragons that we know and love as well throughout 2020 and 2021 as well. When they really just play like that, those 6 players, like obviously Fearless comes out and Fate goes in, but those 6 players is like really what defines the rest of their continued success throughout the next 2 years. So kind of crazy to see it happen. Soul Dynasty fans in shambles once again. Just never lucky, I guess. Profits popping off, but yeah, they was like their tank line and their back line, I think just really had some struggles from time to time, but that was really some awesome play by Flatter, and that's why he's the 2020 MVP. He does that for the rest of the season. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys got to see some history that maybe you didn't know. A lot of people tuned out the 2020 season, blacked out the 2020 season, but it was such an important match. It's definitely in the top 3 greatest matches of all times. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Once again, make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment below on what you thought of the match, what you want me to do next. Much love, and I will see you guys next time.